Hello， 各位亲爱的观众朋友们，欢迎回来，我是小兔。那么也是恭喜 Team Liquid 战队在第一轮比赛里面成功晋级，他们马上就要迎来 PSI 战队。那么我们也在开始之前要连线一下 PSI 战队，来采访一下他们，赶紧跟他们连一下线吧。
Hello. We're now doing a quick interview with Gerald from PSI.
好的，那我们这边也是有请到了 PSI 战队的杰拉德，那么也是要来接受一下我们的采访。首先第一个问题就是想问 PSI 其实是时隔了一个赛季，再一次进入到了我们的季后赛，现在感想怎么样？聊一聊这个赛季队伍和队员们的一个发挥如何吧。
Hi, Gerald. After a whole season, PSI just re-entered the playoffs. And how do you guys feel about that? Plus, let's just talk about you and your teammates' performance during this season.
It's a great feeling to enter the playoffs again. I felt that we didn't play our best last season and had a lot of bad luck with the pairings. So my personal performance was also poor last season. But this season, the whole team did an amazing job. I'm really proud of all of them, like MaxPax with the best Protoss score in the regular season, Namshar with some surprising builds and miraculous wins, and also Spirit, who left our team, but he was playing really solid. I also feel that I found my gameplay again, and this season I was playing quite well, so I hope in playoffs I can continue that.
首先我们觉得回来再次打回季后赛的感觉真的是非常的美妙，因为上个赛季我们打的也确实是不太好，对我自己来讲，我自己的表现也不是特别令人满意。本赛季我们队伍的表现自然是很好，所有的队友都有出色的表现，我自己也觉得我的状态不错，希望我们能够在季后赛取得更好的成绩。
也是聊到了，其实这个赛季自己包括整个队伍的状态都很不错。其实在这个赛季，你们队伍有一场比赛令我们印象非常深刻，就是在常规赛对阵 S2 的比赛当中，你在队伍1-3落后的情况下，在第2局超级无敌大劣势的情况下艰难翻盘，2-0战胜了嘎姐，然后力挽狂澜为队伍争取到了机会，然后 MaxPax 也是抓住了最后的机会获得了胜利。可以跟我们聊一下那场比赛吗？是不是你们整个常规赛阶段让你们印象最深刻的一场比赛
？Speaking of the regulars, you have had a reverse sweep that is very impressive to all of us. Because I remember that in first round you guys were 1-2-3, and under the circumstances you took 2-0 and finally beat Scarlet, saved the chance for the boss fight in which MaxPax took the opportunity, and finally you guys won. So can we talk about that game and your feelings after the game?
I have practicing a lot of PvZ before that game, and I was feeling like I'm quite prepared to. And the first game went basically as I planned, but then Scarlet picked Equilibrium, which is the hardest map for Protoss. So I didn't feel too confident. And after really bad start, I was feeling like I should leave the game, but then decided, well, I need to win. Like it's really important for team to get to playoffs. So I was trying to somehow come back. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was feeling absolutely amazing after this win, and I'm quite proud of it. And it was one of I think it was one of the best comebacks in my career. And when I won, I was just believed MaxPax can close it.
其实在那之前我一直都有练习很多这个神族打虫族啊 PVZ， 但是开始的时候 Scarlet 也确实是太猛了，打得我一度觉得我可能真的是要败了。但是我又想到这场比赛其实对我的队伍来讲是非常非常重要，我就觉得我还是要赢，于是我一点一点的把这个基本盘又稳住，最后赢的感觉可以说是我整个生涯当中最畅快的几场胜利之一。当然 MaxPax 也是打得后面也是没有让我们来失望，也是成为了我们的骄傲。
是的，这场比赛让我们在整个常规赛里面都为之印象深刻。我觉得每一支队伍可能都需要一场这样的比赛，会让整个队伍的所有选手进行一个蜕变。那么接下来你们要面对到的对手是刚刚获胜的 Team Liquid， 你觉得最棘手的会是哪个选手？不知道有没有看到刚刚 Killer 选手非常精彩的一个这个1穿6啊，直接0-6拿6-0拿下了 一个人把所有的这个对手全部都给干翻了。面对到他们接下来的挑战，你有信心吗？
So in the next game, you will be playing against Team Liquid. As I don't know if you have watched this game, Cure just have 6-0 and like one-man army just kill the opponent. So anything, what are you feeling now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Q to all kill in match before, and it was really impressive. So I'm a little bit worried, but also I believe in MaxPax and I believe in all players in our team. So I hope we can win anyway. But also I still remember Team Liquid didn't use Clem in match before, so it's a little bit terrifying right now.
至于 Q2 选手他能够打出一个 AK， 我确实是没有想到的啊，这一点看来确实是有一点点担心的。但同时呢，我也觉得我对 MaxPax 和其他的队员都有信心，应该能打好。但同时，如果说还有什么担心的话，那 Clem 还没有下场，对于他来讲，我们是永远是有忧虑的。
好的，那么也是看得出，其实对自己的队伍和队友都非常的有信心啊。那现在赶紧去准备一下，要开始你们的表演了。感谢接受到我们的采访。
Okay, thank you for the interview. Please get ready for the next game and good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
拜拜。好的，那么紧张激烈的第2轮比赛马上就要开始了。那把画面交给我们最专业的解说席。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Big shout out to Gerald, of course, for giving us a little bit of insight and a little bit of an interview as a preamble to get into this next series we just wrapped up with Team Liquid versus Mystery Gaming. And my god, that was a brutal series. Cure, he went for the all-kill, the one-man army. He took down every single player before him, did drop a map towards the end against Bunny, but a really strong showing out of Cure. And as was just mentioned, is going to be looking a little bit daunting for any team to go up against Team Liquid, because bearing in mind that was Cure, and there's still Elazer, Skilless, Mana, and Clem behind that as well. All well rested, all chilling, and of course enjoying the show that Cure has been putting on. So again, Team Liquid are very much so rested and ready to get into this, and I'm really curious to see what kind of player we're going to be fielding first. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they field Cure, I'll be honest. Solely for one reason. Cure, he already played so many matches, he probably is a little bit tired. They even mentioned his endurance and his stamina in the interview as well, in the winner's interview. And it's getting late. It's getting late in Korea. So even if Cure is getting a little bit tired, better to send him out first instead of later, just so he can get some wins in. Even if he ends up falling, even if he falls to MaxPax or something, he can get his wins in, get his games in, and get some rest. Like, the sooner the better, so he can go to bed. Otherwise, if they like hold on to him and he's like, "Oh, can I play that?" It's like, no, we're saving you for last, but we're saving you for last. And you know, it comes like 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and Kira's like, "Can I sleep? Can I can I play so I can go to bed?" So, based on how late it is in Korea, it would make sense to send out Kira first, but we'll see. We'll see how Team Liquid want to approach this, and whether Cure is even tired, or if he's willing to go the distance and to stay up and to, just play a little bit later anyway. We'll see. We shall see. Likewise, I know I'm focusing a lot on Team Liquid, but PSISTORM Gaming, of course, have a big roster themselves. Unfortunately, the roster for PSISTORM Gaming is significantly weaker. For those that are curious, a couple of weeks ago, in the middle of the season, PSISTORM lost one of their key players on their team. They lost Spirit. Spirit was picked up by Na'Vi in the middle of the round robin season, and PSISTORM still had a really good showing overall, and they still made it into the playoffs. But a big reason for their performances and for their success was Spirit. Spirit was a strong number 2 to MaxPax, where Spirit is one of the best Terrans in Europe. He's top 3, arguably top 2, alongside Clem, alongside Hero Marine. So to lose a player of the caliber of Spirit, it does really deal a big blow to PSISTORM. But here we go. It's time for the prediction, Cat. Who's it going to be? Who do we predict? Who do you want? Who's going to win? Who's going to win, Papi? Let us know. Oh, boy. Let's see, we go. The cat is going to be lured in. Going to be getting the food ready. Who's gonna win, Papi? Team Liquid or PSISTORM? Who's gonna? Oh, they're on the fight. Oh, he likes the Liquid. This time there was no second guessing. Last time it took like 30 minutes to lure him in, and oh my god, Team Liquid across the board, and it makes sense. As I just mentioned, I do think that maybe one other person would have picked PSISTORM. Oh my god, would have picked PSISTORM if Spirit was still there. But because Spirit has since left the team, since he was picked up by Na'Vi, suddenly you have MaxPax. But even though we saw an all-kill earlier, you can't really rely on one player in a team league like this. You need some support as well. And I mean, MaxPax is not alone. He has players like Namshar, he has Gerald, he has Epic, but against these world-class players, oh boy, we need to bring our A game, and let's go. We have our starting lineup here. It is not Cure. We're going to force him to stay up a little bit longer. Up first, we have Elazer versus Gerald. Let's go. A ZVP Polish on Polish action. A matchup that we have casted many times in the past, especially recently in the House Open Cup. We have been casting a Polish regional event every 2 weeks. Gerald, nowadays, I would say, has cemented himself as the best Protoss player in Poland, has surpassed Mana, Cristiano, Art, looking damn good recently, but here we go, we're diving into our next series.
Versus Team Liquid. Game 1. Let's start the game.
Let's start the game. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Polish Protoss player from the land, representing PSISTORM Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Oh my god, he's got like a little octopus on the bed. On the counter. But here we go, as we dive into our second series of the night. Big shout out to all the sponsors, of course, to Doyu, Honkai Star, Taido, and Autofool. Without these lovely sponsors, the World Team League would not be possible. Masters Coliseum, Kung Fu Cup, none of that would be possible either. So big shout out to the sponsors, big shout out to all the love that StarCraft does get. Ooh, as we settle into our next best of 7. Again, if you're just tuning in, a big shout out. I forgot to mention it was happening during the break, but a big shout out to Coconut Games. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session and an overall good time, and a happy new year. I'm pretty sure Coconut's already gone by now, but regardless, thank you so much. Again, the raid did occur during the downtime, unfortunately, but we are now back with our next best of 7. Here we go. Now, to quickly go over the format, for those of you that maybe tuned in a little bit later from the raid even, this is a best of 2. I mean, kind of. It's a best of 7 overall, constructed by best of 2s. The way this works is that Gerald and Elazer, they have 2 games here. If it's a 2-0 in either direction, the player that 2-0'd will stay on. If Elazer 2-0s, he stays on, and Gerald is eliminated. And then PSISTORM have to field another player to bring Elazer down. Meanwhile, if Gerald and Elazer go 1-1, if they both take a game, then they knock each other out. Both players are eliminated, and both teams field brand new players in their stead. Now, in the last best of 7 in Team Liquid versus Mystery Gaming, Cure had an all-kill. Cure, he took down Shin, he took down Bunny, he took down Cyan and Bunny once again, and he was able to just take everyone down. We'll see if we can get another all-kill, or we'll see if we get a more back and forth here in our next series. We can see our tech of choice. Gerald's going for a Stargate opener. Here we go. Gonna be a Stargate opener here from Gerald. Meanwhile, Elazer going for a Hatchigas Bull Force to take the unnatural. Natural, we are loading into Golden Aura, very short, very small map, very short rush distance by ground. Aggression is typically favored on a map like this. I mean, the bases are quite defendable, don't get me wrong, but the rush distance is a big factor, and as a result, Elazer could be looking to be more of an aggressive, or take a more aggressive approach here as we load into game one. We'll see. Meanwhile, with this Stargate opener, should be an Oracle-based build. Gerald has been playing around a little bit with Void Ray first, but he's not as in love with it as some of our other players. I'm talking about Christiana, for example, or Rodzin. They've been embracing that a little bit more instead. And as we mentioned, Oracle is on the way. Very standard opener here out of Geralt. It should be an Oracle opener into a third base, into triple Oracle, into our tech transition. Now that transition that I just mentioned, that is a little bit more up in the air. Geralt does like to mix it up, whether it's a Twilight Council and Glaive Adepts, or Twilight Council and a charge-based all-in, which he has been quite fond of recently, going to charge, going to Archons, and a big charge Archon timing, or even +1 Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Adepts are going to be threatening Shades. They do wedge themselves in the mineral line. Really good positioning with these Adepts, reducing surface area, taking control of that natural, and the Oracle has arrived. But Queens are in position. We have 2 Queens in the main, and the Oracle doesn't find any damage. Not yet. The Oracle dips towards the third base. Oh, we do shade in. 3 drones go down to the Adepts. Very nicely done here. The Oracle getting another extra couple of workers. 5 drones go down. Oh, the Oracle barely does escape, down to a slither of HP. 5 worker kills for 2 Adepts. A good trade. But the Oracle did sustain a lot of damage and is 1 shot away from going down. So you have to be careful. Meanwhile, another Oracle does rock up. We catch some more drones here. Oh my god. 8 workers in total, but once again, a little hull damage. Oh my god. The Oracle barely does escape. And we have our follow-up. There it is. Forge is on the way for Geralt. Nexus in production to take our third base, as is standard, as should be expected here from Geralt. But if I'm not mistaken, that's a Forge. Where's the Twilight Council? Oh, there we go. Gonna be a bit of a delayed Twilight Council here from Geralt, but is on the way nonetheless. Prioritization on +1. This should be +1 in Blink, but +1 in Charge is also on the table for Geralt. Meanwhile, 4th hatchery is being taken. Center base is on the way. Elazer going for a fast +1 or fast Evo chamber. This should be for +1 melee, should be for Lingbane aggression initially from our Zerg player. So everything is looking pretty standard for the time being. Again, we're still waiting for the upgrade of choice from Geralt. Almost gets the Overlord. Ooh, Lings try to harass, try to shut down that Stalker. We're going for the Overlord. Oh, una más! We are just barely out of range. The Overlord is surviving. The Overlord will make it out here. Lings a zone away that Stalker. Plenty of Lings in position. Stalker goes down. And that is a second Robo. Oh my god. Wait, is that a second and third Robo? Oh my, that's, regardless, that's a lot of Robos really early on here. On the way from Geralt. The Adepts are going to be moving out. We're getting in position. Twilight Council's on the way. Sorry, Twilight Council and my brain just blanked out. You know what I'm talking about. Templar building. Templar Archives, there you go. Templar Archives is on the way, which means we should be working on Charge. I'm very curious that we haven't started it. This is very unique to Geralt, actually. So this is, I believe this is going to be a delayed Archon drop. We have seen him warp in High Templar before even investing into Charge. He actually has defeated Elazer with this before. I mentioned before that we have casted some regional events, some House Open Cups, and even House Circuit events. And Geralt has been able to bring Elazer down in the past. Can he do it again for a second time? Massive gateway explosion. Adepts are going to be shut down, at least a handful of them. I'm still a little bit surprised, though. Where is Charge? It should have started by now, and oh, there it is. Never mind. We started Charge, we cancel it, and we're going into Blink. Oh my. Here we go. We're getting a bit of everything. Okay, so we have +2 alongside Blink. We started up a Phoenix here from Geralt as well. Immortal production has commenced. I believe, yeah, we do have 2 Robos up and running. We have an Immortal and an Observer on the way. And Geralt is just fortifying himself and getting a 4th base. So Geralt isn't hitting any kind of timing. He isn't pushing anytime soon. All he's doing is being very tech heavy. Everything that I've just mentioned, I mean, that's a lot of resources to go double Robo, Storm, +2, Blink. it's all taking quite some time to really get going, and Gerald, he's just basically going to be stuck at home, defending, taking before building up a death ball of an army. Meanwhile, Spire is on the way. It's going to be Roach Ravager to begin with here for Elazer. The Spire on the way for Mutas. The potential for Muta is huge, but we do have a couple of Phoenixes to help deter that, to help deal with that potential Muta play. They are in production. +1 air attack. Ooh, Elazer looking to commit here to those Mutalisks. We'll see how many we make. Meanwhile, we do see Gerald just fortifying himself, working on Archons, Blink Stalkers, Phoenixes. 9 Mutas are in production. A pretty healthy amount. That is enough to one-shot workers. More than enough to one-shot workers. We only have 2 Phoenixes for the time being. Again, I kind of appreciate this from Gerald. So basically, Gerald, he hasn't seen the Spire. He only made the Mutas, sorry, he only made the Phoenixes just to be safe, and they will come into play. Now, there's only 2 Phoenixes, though, so does have to be very careful with them. Doesn't want to lose them too prematurely here, as Mutas are soon to the field. Ooh, Gerald, I assumed he would be turtling up and getting into a maxed out ground toss army, but no, he's turtling up and getting into sky toss instead. Meanwhile, big revelation on the Mutas. Gerald is aware. He has a wall of immortals here at that 4th base. And you can see just how well Geralt is just walling up. Look at this, just gateways all over the place. The Phoenixes! No! Phoenixes are going to be going down. One of them at least. The other will fall as well. A big pickoffs here from Elazer. Going to be doubling down on Mutas. But again, Geralt, he fully walled off at the 3rd, and he's fully walled off at the 4th base. He's just turtling up and maxing out. That's the goal here for Geralt. But it's going to take time. Meanwhile, Elazer, can he really break this defensive line? Can he break this position? Because there's quite a lot here working for his opponent. Big Storm here zones away those Mutas. We have how many? 6, 7 Immortals. Oh, we try to dive on those High Templar. Bold move. Bailing Rabbi comes in, but the Safe Trap does catch the Bailings. Very nicely done here from Geralt. He is going to be holding, but that's a lot of Bailings about to come out of stasis. Meanwhile, Phoenixes are underway. Phoenix range in production with that Fleet Beacon. I assumed it was going to be Sky Toss, but it's just going to be Mass Phoenix. Little Bailey's, they crash into the Archon. They deal some damage to the Immortals, but not too much else. We have to be very careful with these Phoenixes. Oh, another Phoenix goes down. And that is looking to be not Nitrosis Pylon, but we do depower one of those Stargates. But we do even supply block Geralt. He is going to be supply block. 2 Mutas go down. Elazer still committing here to Muta production. Very interesting. He's working on +2 air attack and, again, continuing to produce Mutas. It's a very bold move. +1 air attack, another Stargate. All in production. Geralt is soon about to max out. He has plenty of storms available. Speaking of, one is spent. So you have to be careful with how freely we do want to spend those storms. So on the one hand, Elazer has a really good economy. You know, he's on what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or soon to be 8 bases. Elazer has the entire map, but Geralt doesn't really care because, again, it is a death ball of an army. Essentially, even if Elazer has a bank, Geralt is going to be pushing, and he's going to be looking to take a really strong fight, a very efficient fight, and then just go for the kill. Go straight for the bases. And because we're on Golden Aura, the rush distance by ground is very short, so it doesn't take too long at all to walk into the bases of the Zerg. So it's going to be one big push here from Geralt. Carrier production has commenced. With the commencement of these carriers, I'm curious if Geralt even intends to push out. Yeah, we're taking a 5th base. And we may just want to slowly refine the army to get into a maxed out Skytos composition instead. I'm curious. I'm curious basically if we move out with like 4 carriers or if we want to build up to 6, for example. Alongside Tempest. Meanwhile, Pylon's going to be going down. We do depower the Stargate for a 2nd time. These Mutas getting a lot done. Oh my god. Finally, they're being shut down. Meanwhile, behind this, Elazer working on Hive Tech. Now, talking a little bit about Elazer, I'm also a little bit concerned about our Zerg player here. Now, he has a good bank, right? He's got 6k minerals, he's got 2k gas, but he's been maxed out for quite some time. And he just threw away all his Mutas, which is fine. But he still has a lot of roaches and ravagers that he also has to throw away. Like, he just doesn't really have a good army. It's okay to engage in the center of the map, true, but in a head-to-head fight, especially if Gerald gets into Skytoss, Elazer doesn't really have what he needs. But again, he's going to be looking to trade. He's going to be looking to go for these big Lingbane run-bys. Again, a lot of these roaches are also a little bit dead supply here for Elazer. But he wants to trade it out. And he is going for the wall. He's going to be busting down these gateways. Ooh, High Templar goes down. No Storm is available. We do bust in. And Gerald just was not ready for this push. Not ready for this counterattack. Baileys to get into the middle line. Probes are going down. And we do shut down this Nexus. A big pick off here from Elazer. Again, Gerald's army is slow. It's very slow, very immobile. The overcharge does keep the Nexus alive, but that is going to be 19 dead workers. And that may just trigger a counterattack. It may just be go time for Gerald. Now, as Elazer just threw away a bunch of supply, we have Corruptors on the way. Corruptors, they will help against these carriers. But remember, it's not pure Skytoss. There's a lot of Immortals getting involved. You do need something on the ground as well, whether it's Brood Lords, Ultras, Lurkers. Lingbane Roach Ravager can be okay, but there it is. 9 Broodlords are in production. We get into the mineral line. Oh, 13 probes go down, and Geralt is being pulled apart. And this is exactly what Elazer needed. He is trading out his Roaches, his Lings, and his Banelings, and he's replacing them with Corruptors and Broodlords. Again, he's refining his army. He has +3 air attack about to finish up, or on the way, I should say. +1 air carapace as well, flyer carapace. And the quality of Elazer's army is now suddenly keeping up, if not exceeding that of Geralt. So really solid army here from Elazer. Now what Elazer's really missing here is spellcasters, whether it's Infestors or Vipers or both. That's really kind of the cherry on top that Elazer is lacking. But outside of that, yeah, here we go. The Broodlords have revealed themselves. They take down one of the Immortals already. Very nice pickoff. Geralt now aware he's up against Broodlords. If it was Roach Ravager, this would be much more simple. This would be easy to deal with. But now against Broodlords, something like Tempest are more necessary. Archons as well. Additional Archons even. Geralt is max. He's pushing. He is clearing up a lot of creep as he pushes towards the northern portion of the map. Remember, he can recall back home. He can also recall to the mothership. Ooh, as we do shut down 2 bases. Good pickoffs. 2 hatcheries go down. More creep is receding. And we are continuing carrier production. Bold move here. So we are avoiding Tempest. Now, the advantage of Tempest, of course, is their range. They can gain so much value over time by picking away at Corruptors, at Broodlords, at all that. Anything, really. But the downside is that Tempests are very slow. It's a way to... Oh, as the Immortals have been left behind. Uh-oh. Okay. But it's Tempests are very slow, and they're siege-based units. So if you want to go for a longer game, a later game, the Tempest would be ideal. It does look like Geralt wants to be in the face of Elazer, though. It looks like he wants to be very much so active and aggressive right now, and Tempests are a little bit too slow for that. When it comes to how long it takes for them to gain value over time and gain efficiency. And here we go. Geralt is going for that big Immortal counterattack. He has recognized that the Immortals are a little bit useless at the moment, so we're going to be trading, and we will snipe a base. There we go. Hatchery is going to be going down. The Immortal hit squad is real. We can take down the Queens, the Hatchery. Eventually, these Immortals will be shut down, but we want to get rid of them. Meanwhile, we're going for the dive. We're diving on top of the carriers. 1 carrier goes down, 2nd carrier as well, 3rd carrier. Oh, we're one-shotting carriers at this point. We are just tanking those storms to the face. We don't even care. And every single Skytoss unit is going to be going down to these Corruptors. They are so battered, so bruised, deep in the red, but we shut down all the carriers, the mothership, and these Immortals, all it takes is a couple of Lings, and we shut them down as well. And now there is no answer to the Broodlords. We can just fight this ground army head-to-head. Oh, both players have lost quite a lot of supply here. But Elazer has a bank, and Geralt's a little bit less so. Now, Geralt, he's remaxing on Carrier. He doesn't have any High Templar, not anymore. We have 4 more Broodlords on the way. The army supplies are similar, but I still want to give the edge here to Elazer. Gerald basically is doubling down on reinforcing with Stalkers, has a very mobile army, but Elazer, he's remaxing on Broodlord. And there we go, the Broodlords have arrived. Gonna be zoning back those Stalkers. We have a big Zealot counter-attack on the left-hand side, but they're gonna be running into a wall of Spine Crawlers. The Spine Forest is real. Oh my god. As Zealots will arrive, they will shut down the Spines, but they buy enough time for the Lings to arrive. To get us around and deal with all these Zealots. And they will shut them down. At the same time, we do see Elazer marauding in the center of the map. It looks like a couple of Broodlords get caught out. 2 Broodlords fall, but only 2 Broodlords. Like, again, there's still so many here, and there's no answer. There's no answer for the Broods. Stalkers can deal with a low amount of Broodlords, but not this. We have hit critical mass. Without Skytoss, how do we deal with this? Without Skytoss, how do we deal with the Broods? As we can see, Gerald trying to expand here towards the top left. But again, momentum is on the side of Elazer. A couple of carriers have arrived, but we still have some Corruptors left over. 5 more Corruptors in production. We're catching a couple of probes here and there, containing the Protoss player. Now, because there are so many Broodlords and because they're pushing, we can go for a base trade. I never know the storms! But we could unironically go for a base trade at this point. Just because Elazer is so far out with these Broodlords. I think that may be better than just engaging head-on. Speaking of, the carriers have arrived, but we have the Corruptors! We dive on the carriers, and one of them is going to be going down. We do have the overcharge, but I can only do so much. Second carrier, third carrier falls. Elazer, he has his way with this Skytoss army. And now Geralt is going for a counterattack, but this may just be too little too late. Good storms. They connect on those Corruptors. But we have a surround. We have Lingbane from one side. We have Broodlords from the other. We collapse on these Stalkers. There is no escape. And Elazer is going to completely engulf this army. It looks like the ground army does barely avoid those Broodlords or the Broodlings. But the carriers, they all get shut down. Geralt, again, he's down to a handful of Stalkers remaining. This is all he has left. This is his army. And as Elazer rocks up, I mean, he can just deny this base, the most important mining base of Geralt. This is where the bulk of his economy comes from, and it's going to go down. Where can be the production? Tempest now on the... It's too late for Tempest. It's too little too late for that. Not anymore. We can see Geralt going for a big counterattack with his Stalkers. Again, he's aware of how immobile this army is, so the Stalkers could maybe get a couple of aces. But we do have Ling reinforcements. Elazer remaxing on Lings. And looking for a surround. The Nexus will fall. And there's that recall to get the hell out of there. Elazer retaking bottom left. You can see Geralt hands off the keyboard. I think he knows, of course, that things are looking very dire for Geralt. They have been for quite some time. Again, he wasn't looking too bad up until the Broodlord switch. That was the problem. Once we got into Broodlords, there was just never a good answer for them. Never a solid response. So Broodlords are just, yeah, chipping away at the workers, what little is left. We do have 2 Tempests and 3 carriers. We have a handful of Skytoss units. We have some storms. The storms are spent on the Lings. They rain down on the Corruptors as well. We dive on the army, focus on whatever we can. The Tempests are going to be falling. And the carriers soon thereafter. The final stand here of Geralt, his final units. GG gets called, and Elazer will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Elazer. Geralt did a good job when it came to defending and fortifying himself on 4 bases. But yeah, he just had a really hard time actually being active on the map. I do think that the mutas really hurt him. I think the mutas did a great job at not just harassing, but forcing the Protoss player to deviate from their plan and to invest into all these Phoenixes and to run around in between their bases to keep up with the mutas. And this just gave Elazer so much time to build up a bank, to take the entire map, to expand, take all these bases, and yeah, Elazer, he just had full map control and had almost full control of that game. GG. GG, well played. This whole game there out of Elazer. And now it's going to be on Gerald to fight back. Now, the way this works, for those that are curious, it is loser's pick. There are vetoes available, but I mean, it's fine. And for the most part, loser's pick here from Gerald is going to be on him to decide where we do take this. Where do we go? I'm curious. When I think of the map pool, when I think of how Geralt wants to play, Radisson Station would be a good one. It would be a big map for Geralt to very comfortably settle into a 4-base and even a 5-base economy, max out, get into Skytos. That is something very powerful on Radisson Station. Similarly, I'm thinking Alcyone. Alcyone could be another one. I'm assuming that Geralt doesn't want a small map, but maybe I'm wrong in that assumption. We'll see. We'll see what direction we want to go in. Do we go for a large map like Radisson Station or Alcyone, or do we go for a smaller map like Oceanborn or Hard Lead? We'll see. We shall see. It's going to be on Geralt to decide. Going to be on Geralt, and here we go. We have a map of choice, and it's going to be a small map as we're loading in to Hard Lead. Oh boy, okay. So Geralt not really thinking too much about turtling and getting to Skytos. Does look like he wants to be a little bit more assertive, but that goes both ways. Does go both ways, as both players can be aggressive. They can take advantage of the map and take advantage of their opponents. We shall see. As a reminder, Elazer, if he wins one more game here, he will take down his opponent and force out a replacement. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the Polish Protoss player representing SC2 Gaming, Gerald. And in the top left, we have his opponent, the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. It's a little octopus. It's beautiful. But here we go again, Hard Lead. Very small map, very short rush distance by ground. We've seen a lot of Queen Walks. We've seen a lot of Roach-based all-ins from the side of Zerg on this map. We'll see if that's going to be the case once again, or if we go into a bit of a longer game. We'll see what approach both of our players will have. Geralt does force out the unnatural natural. I'm curious if Geralt is tempted to go for a Twilight Council opener. On a map like Hard Lead, Twilight Council openers are a little bit more commonplace, a little bit more, I don't want to say standard, but yeah, I mean, they're a little bit more viable here with how much damage they can get done. I am curious how Geralt approaches game 2. But again, Elazer needs one more win here to knock out his opponent, to force out another player from PSISTORM Gaming. Meanwhile, Geralt needs to win here and now to knock down his opponent as well, to knock each other out and bring Elazer down with him. We'll see if he can pull that off. For the time being, he's just being as annoying as possible, mining and chipping away at those minerals. Behind this, of course, going into his gate expand, into the Cybercore. Overall, some pretty standard openers. Everything looking as it should. Everything looking as it should here, as we have the probe coming back in just to tase away at those drones. Again, being as annoying as possible. Before pulling back. And we should be seeing our tech of choice soon here from Geralt. There it is. There is a Stargate. So it's going to be a Stargate opener, not a Twilight Council. Bear that in mind. Going to be a Stargate-based opener. Should be Oracle into a third base, into +1 and Blink again. We'll keep our eye out on Geralt to see if he deviates, to see if he even goes for the Oracle first. Could be tempted to go for something different. Could be tempted to go for something like even a Void Ray. We shall see. But now, Elazer is just going to be joining on up, saturating his bases. Again, his bases are a little bit spread out, so a little bit split up, but overall, he's in position. We have Lings in the main, Lings at the natural. queens as well, and the adepts do not commit. And there it is, we have an Oracle first. So everything's looking quite normal, quite standard from the side of Gerald, just like the previous game. Going to be an Oracle, into a second Oracle, into a third Oracle, into an expansion. Just a really solid way to get into a three-way setup. Meanwhile, the adepts, they dip in, they get one drone kill before getting the hell out of there. Very nicely done by Gerald. Just gaining as much efficiency as he can out of those two adepts. As he does retreat back home, he's in position to defend his third base to make sure that a Ling run by a Ling counterattack does not deny his third. Meanwhile, as he's defending, as he's expanding, do have our first Oracle getting across the map. Does get met by some queens. He's going to respect them. We have one Spore in the main, 3 queens at the natural. And so far, Geralt doesn't find any damage yet. Going for a bit of a gateway explosion behind this. This is not normal. That's going to be a second, third, and a fourth gateway on the way. Where's the Twilight Council? This is different. This is very different here out of Geralt. You have my attention as we do have the Oracles going to town. They do pick off a queen. Oh, very clutch micro there. One of the Oracles does escape. We get 2 worker kills. Ooh, almost a third. As that first Oracle is going to be able to get one more drone before barely escaping here on 3 barely any HP. Oh my god. Very close there from Geralt. But yeah, this is really weird. I don't know if this was intentional. We have the resources for it. So Geralt, he went for 4 gateways, and he goes for a delayed Twilight Council and delayed Forge as a follow-up. So he tries to get, he does get another drone across the map. Yeah, really interesting build choice here from Geralt. This should be +1 in Blink Stalkers, but again, these upgrades in the tech is going to be delayed for Geralt. In favor of a bit of a stronger gateway count early on. And we can see why. Again, because of the faster gateways, these Stalkers may not have Blink, but we have a lot of them really early on. This is very unexpected, and I'm sure Elazer is not ready for this. And this is designed to catch Elazer off guard to ideally get in and maybe even deny base. Here we go. We're pushing in. We find a hatchery, and we should force a cancel. Oh, Lings are going to be threatening us around. We have Oracles to support. Can we force a cancel on this hatchery? Adepts, they shade him, but the Lings, they do keep up. The Lings, they shut down the Adepts, and the Stalkers are forced back. Again, because we threw down the Revelation, we just didn't have enough energy to actually kill any Lings or throw down a stasis trap, so Gerald backs off. And this move out was supposed to get a little bit more. It has been a little bit lackluster. Big Ling counterattack. We do collapse here on the would-be 4th. Oracles are in position. 4th base is being taken. But essentially, Geralt invested into these Stalkers, and they weren't really worth it in the end. And that means that, again, Blink and +1 is later than it should be. It wasn't quite worth it. Behind this, Elazer going into +1 melee. We have a Hydra Den on the way. Elazer is skipping Roaches, going straight up Ling Hydra, which can be very powerful against Stalker play. This is going to be Ling Hydra. This can seamlessly transition into Lurker play as well. To Ling Hydra Lurker. Stalkers have arrived. They pick up an Overlord. They threaten the base. But plenty of Lings here. Plenty of Lings in position. And speaking of Lunkers, that is the Fast Infestation Pit. I believe it finished, or was it cancelled? I saw it suddenly leave the production tab. Interesting. I saw the Infestation Pit leave, and I saw the Balian S begin, so it may have been a cancel there from Elazer. Yes, he is doubling down on Ling Bane Hydra. Yeah, Hydras are amassing. Gerald pushing from the left-hand side. Getting on top of the base, getting on top of the hatchery. Hatchery is going to be going down, but we are out of position, by the way. The hatchery will fall at the same time, though the Nexus across the map is also going to be focused down. We do recall back home just in time, and can we defend? Up, we can try, but the Nexus does get picked off. Big win there for Elazer. May have lost the base, but he did take down one of Gerald's. Did cost a lot of Lings, but Elazer, he's amassing Hydras. Gerald down to 3 bases. Gonna be double expanding. Reacting almost like a Zerg in this stage. Lings are pushing forward. The Hydra's dishing out a lot of DPS here in the back line. Is it going to be enough, though? Do we have enough Lings? Again, the Lings are so important here to just try to buffer, to soak up some damage, to allow these Hydras to get out of control. Stalkers are falling. Gerald has to retreat. Elazer, likewise, he's on a decent economy himself. He's on 77 workers. He's still lacking that critical mass of Lings, though. Again, a big reason for this is he needs a hatchery. He needs larva. Like, Elazer, he has 1,000 minerals in the back, but he can't spend it. He is hurting. As we do see Gerald pushing up this ramp, trading with the Hydras, trading well. Expensive losses for Elazer. We need those bases. We need that larva. And just trying to burn through that bank. More Hydra's going to be getting picked off. Hydra speed on the way. Elazer just splitting up his army, defending his would-be 5th. Or would-be 6th even, as he's double expanding. Elazer going to be losing an Overlord. Splitting up his forces here. Now, the scary thing is that Gerald is still stuck on Pure Stalker. And over time, it's been kind of these close fights, right? Where Gerald is barely not breaking through and he's trading with the Hydras. But now Elazer's economy is really getting out of hand, and Gerald is still stuck on Pure Blink Stalkers. And now we have a transition. We have a second Robo, a Bay, Immortal production. But this all feels very delayed from Gerald. He's still stuck with Pure Stalker for that much longer. Likewise, Elazer is also lacking drones. He's only on 70 workers. He lost a lot earlier and he hasn't replaced them. He has not replaced those workers. He's going to try and push in, but Elazer is bleeding out a little bit too much. A lot of Hydra's going to be going down. He gets into the mineral line. 18 probes go down. But every single Hydra is going to be falling here as reinforcements have arrived. And Elazer, he may just be losing too much. Yeah, he's just been a little bit too careless with those Hydras. Another massive Baneling counterattack. 32 probes go down. Gerald, his economy, struggling. But he is going for a big counterattack. And he may just barely have enough to break Elazer. Again, Elazer is still struggling with larva. We'll be losing a hatchery. Colossi are on the way. Like, the big bane right now for Geralt is the Lings. The Lings are giving him a really hard time, and Colossi, they're going to make short work of them. As long as we can focus on a main push. Catch a Hydra. 2 Colossi on the way. Extended Lance just now started. In a very scrappy game, we catch some Banelings. Good catch there from Geralt. Still amassing Ling Hydra. There we go. Banelings now on the way. Geralt's just non-stop pro production. He has recovered worker-wise. Very impressive. The Colossi have arrived. Now, all that Geralt needs is one good fight that he can counteract. We're diving on top of the Colossus. The Banelings, they do crash in. Oh, the Colossus barely does survive in the back line. Oh, I spoke too soon. First Colossus goes down. Second Colossus has arrived. Big swipes here, Banelings to get into the middle line, but they do not connect. And the Ling Hydra, it gets completely shut down. GG gets called. Geralt will survive. Whew. And Geralt takes game number 2. GG. Again, Elazer forcing himself all in a way. I say in a way because, again, Elazer did not have a solid economy. He had 70 workers, and he just didn't really have a lot of larva to sustain himself. Too many rough trades, losing so many Hydras throughout the course of that game. Geralt was trading better. He was trading more efficiently. He had a better economy. And once his Colossi came out, that was it. That was good. That was enough to seal the deal. And Elazer could not keep going. Not from there. Not anymore. GG. 1-1. Which means we knock each other out. And Geralt, he did his job. He took down Elazer. Again, we've seen Geralt defeat Elazer before, so a big win here once again. bringing down Elazer, and really, yeah, securing himself here. Like, Gerald has been improving so much over 2023, and I'm hoping his improving continues in 2024 as well, as Gerald has been really establishing himself as one of the best in Poland. Whew. And with that, oh, hello, Namshar. We are going to be getting ready here for our next couple of matches. I think that's Drickett. I believe that is Drickett as the team manager in the center call. So we have Drickett alongside Namshar and Gerald. And of course, MaxPax, I'm sure, is there as well, just off cap. Oh, meanwhile, Mana is deliberating. Who do we send out next? We have Elazer, we have Mana. Oh, that's a McFlurry. Yo, we got some Macas, papi. Let's go. Ah, I'm celoso. Get that McFlurry going. But yeah, really solid win there from Geralt. With this, it means that both teams have to field new players. Both teams will be fielding new players here. And it may be time for Namshar to come out. It's very possible that they want to save MaxPax a little bit longer. When it comes to Team Liquid, I feel like we have to bring out one of the big names. Either Cure or Clem. And we don't even know if Cure is there anymore. Again, it's very late in Korea. Cure, he's already spent after the last series. He could be in bed. I hope he's not, but we didn't see him on cams. So we'll see. We'll see who comes out next. As I believe the top right, the streamer room there, I think that's Clem, right? I believe that's meant to be Clem.
Clem was not in the streamer room before, no.
Oh, okay. Wait, who's in the streamer room? Skillus?
Maybe Skillus. I don't know.
You know, yeah, Skillus, he has a streamer room. Yeah. True. Okay. Oh, here he comes. Oh, no, wait. That's Clem. Yeah.
Oh,
Clem,
he turned on the lights because it got dark. Because before he had his like window like uncovered.
There you go. Yeah. Streamer room. Okay, here we go. So Clem looks like he may be fielded here. Again, we don't know if Cure is available. We don't know if he's here anymore.
There's a cat.
Oh, the
Clem
cat.
has
The
a
cat.
cat.
The cat opened the door. Cat just turned the doorknob and walked in. Owns the place. Oh my god. Cat allowing Clem into his room. Shout out to the cat. Ugh. But here we go. From here again, our teams are just soon to decide who they want to whip out. I would love to see Mana, but you know, he's still eating his McFlurry, and we don't want it to melt, so I'm sure he's going to be finishing that up before he does get fielded.
And I believe in MaxPax 2.
Likewise.
Clem, but if he doesn't, let's say it's 1-1, then Namshar, you are next.
Oh.
And I think it would be Cure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, they're trying to snipe. They're trying to snipe.
If not, though, however, the alternative is because since Cure all killed, it's very likely they might actually send out Skillus or Mana.
I was about to say that we don't know if
I
Cure is
mean,
even available.
Obviously, Cure will probably just go straight ahead and be like, yeah, screw it, I'm just going to tough through it. But, I mean, if MaxPax 2-0s, then there's no chance, right? Well, there is a chance, but the realistic odds of that are pretty goddamn low.
Yeah, we're hearing them just trying to discuss, trying to figure out who is going to be sent out and basically when they want to send out MaxPax. And clearly, you could hear there, they want to send out MaxPax for Clem. They want MaxPax to snipe Clem. They want to save him for him. And if Cure comes out next, that's where they want to send out Namshar, which is an interesting decision there. We'll see what Namshar is ready. For those who were here a couple of weeks ago when we casted Namshar in WTL, he was very cheesy and he had a lot of really quirky builds. He had some very interesting builds and he was able to cause some upsets. So if Namshar is going to be fielded, I'm expecting a very aggressive, bit of a cheesier series out of him. And he may be coming in quite prepared for a Terran. Whether it's Clem or Cure, I'm sure Namshar has something ready for them. Of course, as I mentioned, skills is always an option, as we have seen, just because we have a little bit of, I guess, added extra information. Based on the cam setup, at least, we haven't seen skillless all night, so it feels like skills probably won't be fielded. Again, we don't have the cam of Cure either, so we don't know if he's available even, which is a bit of an enigma. But here we go, as we have our players of... Oh, let's go! We have our players here, and it's going to be MaxPax versus Clem. The PvT is upon us. Let's go. Ace versus Ace. MaxPax, the best Protoss player in Europe. Clem, the best Terran in Europa as well. They will be clashing here as the second players for their teams. Let's go. Oh boy, it's all on the line. And again, we are hoping for a 2-0 in either direction. This is going to be it. Titans do collide, and these two are very well versed with each other. They play each other on a weekly basis in the ESL Open Cups. Let's go.
Versus Team Liquid. Game 2. Let's start the game.
Let's start the game. As we are getting into it and sporting in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is MaxPax for PSISTORM Gaming. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran, the red Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Now, again, there's a lot of history between these two players. They face off on a weekly basis, whether it's ESL Open Cup Europe or ESL Open Cup Americas. Both MaxPax and Clem face off very regularly, and they go back and forth. I do know that for a long time, for like maybe a month period, Clem had a big win streak against MaxPax. He had a massive win streak. I want to say this was like in November, leading into December-ish. It was before DreamHack. It was before DreamHack Atlanta, I should emphasize. Like October, November. It was like a long period where Clem had like a massive win streak. And then that win streak was broken. I believe MaxPax was able to fight back, and again, they do go back and forth. They do go back and forth in series. So I'm feeling a 2-0. Sorry, I'm feeling a 1-1. I'm not feeling a 2-0, but we'll see as MaxPax is rushing into the goal base. This is very reminiscent of Royal Blood. If you were here in the previous season, yeah. We knew it wasn't a mistake. It's all good. Shout out to Drickett in the chat. We were listening in. We were listening in on some of your decision making, of course, on your deliberation. We were listening in. Yeah, if you are familiar with the previous map pool, if you're familiar with Royal Blood, it was very common for Protoss players to rush into the gold base on Royal Blood as well. So I'm not surprised that we have players like MaxPax and Hero rushing into the gold here on Equilibrium as well. So MaxPax looking to take initiative here in this game. Clem going to be moving out across the map with that Reaper. Soon, I imagine, going to be scouting that location. I'm sure MaxPax has taken this base in the past against Clem in these PvTs. And there we go. The Reaper does confirm the Nexus. Meanwhile, the Probe Scout also gets eyes on the Warlock, as Clem is going for a CC on the high ground. Very safe opener here out of Clem. Ooh, as we do have that recall going to be maynarding those probes over. Now, as I say, it was a safe opener. I mean, it is a safe setup with the CC on the high ground, but it was a double gas opener out of Clem, so a much faster factory, which means faster Cyclone production. The first Cyclone is already on the way, so Clem, upon seeing this Ninja base, upon seeing this gold, he is going to be trying to punish it with, I imagine, these Cyclones. He already has one, second Cyclones in production. Yeah, we're moving out. Immediately, we are moving out. The pressure is now on MaxPax to defend, to try to hold on to this gold. And if he can reap its rewards. Behind this is going to be a Stargate follow-up here. Going to be a Stargate opener into Oracles, not Phoenixes. MaxPax, I'm sure, just amassing, getting ready here at his goal base. Cyclones are moving out. There is a shield battery. There will be an overcharge as well at the gold. Bear that in mind. Clem has quite a bit of firepower here. Now he can pick and choose. He can either go for the natural, for the gold, or for the main Oracle going across the map. Bold move here from MaxPax. I mean, the Cyclones are out of position. Bear this in mind. The Cyclones are out in the center of the map. They are not at home to defend. Reaper does dive into the main base. Cyclones head towards the gold. At the same time, the Oracle gets into the main base of Clem. Chaos is ensuing. And how much is going to go down? The boys are being pulled. We have the shield battery going ham. We do get a couple of SCVs across the map. But the Oracle is forced back. We do have one defensive Cyclone. And that's going to be enough to force back that Oracle. Oh, the Adept does go down. And it looks like Clem, he's breaking the gold. There was only one Adept to defend. The Oracle, it's racing back home. We do have that overcharge, but it's running out. The overcharge is running out. Boys are being pulled once again. A lot of workers going to be falling here. And Clem, is he snowballing out of control? That's going to be 7-8 probe kills. Good juggling. Oh my god. Clem avoiding those stalker shots. Yeah, he has broken this Nexus, and MaxPax lose control of the gold. At the same time, the Oracle goes down across the map. The Oracle falls. And we're snowballing out of control. We have the Viking landing here as well. Phoenix comes in to pick up these Cyclones. It looks like Clem will be forced back. MaxPax, he holds. Oh my god. MaxPax, he will barely hold on here. He had to fight for it though, as it's still not over. These stalkers are getting very low, and Clem refuses to back off. Finally, he will retreat. And we need to take a moment here. 14 workers went down. That was a lot of economic damage dealt. Any kind of advantage that that gold base would have given MaxPax, not quite there anymore, as he has to resaturate his bases, rebuild his workers. But the Stalkers do barely hold on, and we're going for a counterattack. Blink is on the way behind this. It was a Stargate opener, but now we're going into Twilight Council, into Blink play. And can we break the natural base? MaxPax does arrive. Bunker's finishing up. Oh, we have a Liberator across the map, denying any kind of mining in the main. Liberator has arrived. Enjoying away the attention of MaxPax, and MaxPax taking his natural. Taking a third even. He's expanding behind this. It looks like MaxPax doesn't really intend to commit, but he's containing his opponent. Is going to be containing. Nice control here out of MaxPax, but is still not enough to bring down that Liberator. Additional Stalkers are required. Dark Shrine on the way. Interesting move here from MaxPax. I mean, when behind, Dark Shrine. As MaxPax is down in those workers, DTs can be a really good way to come back. Even if we have scans, even if we have Ravens, Dark Templar can still find their way into mineral lines and can still wreak havoc. There is always potential. Liberator gets shut down. Drop gets spotted, but the Cyclones, they do get lock-ons on the Phoenix. Phoenix is shut down. Bearing in mind, Blink is done. We do have a Raven in between the bases. As we mentioned, the Raven is going to make things difficult for the Dark Templar to really find any damage. But if the army moves out, if the Raven moves out, the DTs, they can move in. And of course, they can pick off and have their way with that mineral line. Hallucination does get eyes on the Raven, as well as the positioning of the army. MaxPax pulling back. Working on his own gateway explosion. And again, thankfully, because of all these Stalkers, Clem is stuck at home. So MaxPax, he's free to expand and probe and tech up. He has breathing room right now, thanks to all these Stalkers. Now, he does have to be careful. We can see that he's spreading out, trying to make sure that he gets eyes on any kind of drop. And Clem will soon push. Third CC is now underway. Stim is done. +1 halfway. Yeah, and Clem is pushing. He's finally breaking free. Now again, as Clem moves out with the Raven, that's when the Dark Templar move in. And there we go. We have one DT being warped in from MaxPax at that southern gateway. MaxPax is getting ready for that counterattack. Ooh, almost snipes the Raven. There we go. The Dark Templar waddling on in, but they do not find a way. And that's a full wall. A full wall off at the natural. Clem's still pushing. Yeah, we go for the scan as well. DTs, they don't make it into the natural base. And Clem, he can focus on his push. Tanks are sieging. Overcharges pop. That shield battery looking very exposed, and it's going to be focused down. And once again, this third base has been broken. The gold is going to get shut down. MaxPax has to evacuate. And Clem has a lot of momentum. A lot of momentum on his side. He has safety turrets back at home to defend. Shadow Stride is finishing off for those Dark Templar. Blink of the DTs. Stalkers, they come in from behind. Good pickoff. You do get a medevac. Very nice pickoff from MaxPax. Charge is done. We can try to collapse on this, but the tanks, they are pre-sieged. One tank goes down. The Zealots are getting annihilated. Here come the reinforcements. We are pushing on through. Remember, Overcharge is on cooldown. The Immortal goes down, and MaxPax just barely has an army here. The Zealots are being cleaned up. And it looks like Clem has too much. Up 40 supply. We're trying to warp in desperately here, but the Widowmine shots are going to go off. GG gets called, and Clem will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. GG here again. MaxPax, I appreciate his opener where he was attempting to go for the gold base, but the reality is that he was punished. He was punished for that gold. He could not get it up and running he eventually did, I should say, but initially he lost 14 workers. 14 probes went down in the process of defending that Nexus, and he did hold on to it. He did save the base, but it did cost him a lot, and it was worth the trade for Clem. Clem did so well there, killing workers, trading with the army, and punishing that expansion to the point where even though MaxPax held on to it, again, he didn't have the lead that he wanted from that base. A lot came into that outcome as well. It was unfortunate that MaxPax did open up Stargate. Not just that he opened up Stargate, if you remember, winding it back, he went for a Stargate opener into an Oracle, and the Oracle didn't do any damage. The Oracle killed 2 SCVs, it killed 2 workers in the main, and then it went down to the Cyclone. There was a Cyclone in the main base, there was a Cyclone at the natural. Clem had the wherewithal to keep a Cyclone back at home to defend, and because of that, the tech opener of MaxPax didn't do any damage, and it wasn't really worth it in the end. Like, the Oracle was shut down, then we had to transition into delayed Blink and the delayed Twilight Council, and it was a rough road to recovery there from MaxPax based on the openers. And with that, we're now getting ready for game number 2. Now, MaxPax, it's going to be his map of choice, and the map is going to be Hecate. Here we go. Now, this is a best of 2. Clem may have won game 1, but MaxPax can bring Clem down with him and can take game number 2. Again, it's his map of choice. Hecate, a very interesting map. It is also another large map, not as open as Equilibrium. There are a lot of choke points, a lot of points of elevation in the center of the map, a lot of really difficult positions to actually push through as well. So with that, you have a lot of defender's advantage. You have a lot of advantages, especially if you have map control on Hecate. And I'm curious if MaxPax wants to open up Twilight Council here. We'll see. We'll see how he does open up. There is no goal base to tempt MaxPax either. I mean, there's like half a gold base, but it's not worth it. So it's only half a gold, so we shouldn't be seeing like a ninja base, or we shouldn't be rushing into a gold. Not here, because we're loading on in. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing PSISTORM Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Again, MaxPax, he needs your support in the chat to fight back and to tie things up. Clem already has a strong start here, and one more win for Clem means that he stays on, and MaxPax will be eliminated, will be knocked out until the revive later on. Potentially the revive later on, as there's no guarantee that it's going to be used on MaxPax. But likewise, MaxPax needs to win this game here to bring down Clem with him. And can he do it? Of course he can. MaxPax and Clem, they go back and forth time and time again. But it's all about how they feel here on the day. The pressure is on. It all comes down to one game. For the time being, Probe Scout comes in, does get eyes on the more economic opener here out of Clem. Winding it back, remember, game 1, Clem opened up double gas. It was a double gas opener out of Clem into a faster Cyclone. Here in game number 2, Clem is going for a Rax expand. Only a single gas opener which means delayed factory means faster CC. Oh, as it looks like we have jumped forward. I'll catch up. As we have completely skipped the early game. Shaking my head. So yeah, skip the early game, but it's all good. We are just getting into this. We have our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener. Do apologize, but sometimes the clean feed does jump forward. But it's going to be a Stargate opener here out of MaxPax. Adept is going to be threatening that natural base. It looks like, again, Clem was able to get it up and running. Factory now underway. Adept does get into the mineral line and is going to be attempting to trade here with the Marines. Does get one Marine. Nice pick off there from MaxPax. Meanwhile, second Adept has arrived. And we're going to be able to pick off one worker so far, doing a good job here at just pulling apart Clem. And we're going to be able to get another Marine as well. Nice pickups here out of MaxPax. Does escape with the Adept. Getting a couple of Marines and getting one SCV. Again, behind this, it was that Stargate opener. We're going into Phoenixes. This could be the beginning of Phoenix Colossus. I was hoping for a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. But again, it is going to be Phoenixes instead. Likewise, Clem getting into a 1-1-1, working towards a Widowmine drop. Okay. Mine drop is going to be upon us. Phoenixes are amassing. I believe MaxPax still hasn't fully gotten a scout of the main base yet, but he's just taking his gases. Robos on the way. This should be leading to a Robotics Bay, a very standard way of playing here, very meta. Working towards Phoenixes, working towards Colossus. I'm assuming that's the direction we're going. Now we have options. We could throw down the Bay before the third, or the third before the Bay. We'll see how economic MaxPax wants to be, or how safe he wants to be. As it looks like he is going for that faster Nexus. Meanwhile, the Widowmines were in position to shut down any kind of Oracle or Phoenixes, but neither one did arrive, so Clem is going to be going for his drop. Meanwhile, there it is. There's a Nexus on the way alongside the Robotics Bay. So as I mentioned before, Phoenix Colossus is the bread and butter of TVP. At least it was for a very long time. Nowadays, we don't see it as often. It's really cool to see kind of the Protoss versus Terran matchup evolve and diversify, but again, MaxPax just going back to old reliable. And so we go, Clem not going for a mine drop, actually going for a push here with his Widow Mines, zoning back the army. Yeah, the army of MaxPax is going to be zoned away by these Widow Mines, and we get on top of the third base. MaxPax, he just cannot engage. He has to bring in a couple of workers. At the same time, he's catching reinforcements, does get on top of this Cyclone. Really good target firing out of Clem. Takes down an Adept. Oh my god, juggling back that Widowmine as well. Clem, calm down. Takes down 5 workers. And still has a mine shot. Again, there is no blink. But Clem is going to be forced back. Regardless, a good trade for the Terran player. Clem is retreating. Phoenixes, they get across the map. They're going to be able to get a couple of SCV kills. Oh, the turret is not done. Uh-oh. 5 workers go down. Good trade here from MaxPax. Remember, he also picked up reinforcements. And Clem backs off. And MaxPax doesn't cancel the third. He does hold on to it. So again, a really good moment here for MaxPax. He survives the attack. Forces back the opponent. Gets even more SCVs. At the same time, Clem going for a drop. But we have Stalkers in position. And the drop is deflected. With this, MaxPax is gotten away with his build. Phoenixes gain map control. Colossi on the way to shut down any kind of bio push. And the third base is getting up and running. MaxPax looking quite comfortable. Looking very comfortable here. Now, bearing in mind, when it comes to the Clem side of things, he did lose a lot of workers, so he's recovering from losing all those SCVs, but he also preserved his army. Like, after he realized that he didn't quite have enough to deny the third, he did pull back. He respected the position of MaxPax. He consolidated his army, and now we're going for an even stronger push. Are those Widowmines stuck? As we go, Clem is pushing, and MaxPax, how many Colossi? That's the question. I know we have at least one. There we go, two. Two Colossi in position. We have sentries, we have force fields. Clem is going to have a hard time pushing up any of these ramps. Again, this is the power of Hecate. It isn't just like the secure 3-base setup. It is all these ramps leading up into these 3 bases. It makes it so difficult for a Terran player to actually push up and to actually commit. And with that, Clem gets a couple of hits in on those Phoenixes. Widowmine drop here on left-hand side, making its way towards the 3rd. Do you have potentially a push towards the natural as well? Can MaxPax keep up? Clem going for a bit of a double-pronged attack here. Here we go, Widowmines into the 3rd base. The main army pushing towards the natural. Colossi are keeping up though. Yeah, both Colossus in position. Viking going to be going down as well. Clem, he cannot gain any ground here. But the Widowmines, they come in. 5 probes go down. I think we have one more shot to go up on the main army. Pretty good. Clem, his main force is going to be stifled, but he catches some of these Phoenixes as well. 5 probes go down. Will these Widowmines reset? They might. They might end up resetting here. Clem, he may even get a sentry if it does. Probe. A little bit unfortunate for Clem. MaxPax does force back the army. Widowmines may be able to get extra hits in as MaxPax is pushing, but he's down in supply. He has to be very careful with his movement, but there is a lot of pressure on him. He can't stay at home. That's the thing. He cannot stay back at home and allow Clem to just freely expand and freely get his economy up and running. We are going to be pushing. We shut down a Marauder, a couple of Widowmines. We do have to respect the army. We do have to kite back. Force fields are thrown down, but has MaxPax overextended? The Immortal goes down. Expensive loss there for MaxPax. And he barely has anything to support his army. He has to retreat. Initially, it was a good trade, but losing the Immortal suddenly not quite worth it there for MaxPax. He is pulling back. Oh. As Colossus is going to be recalling back home. MaxPax does preserve his units. But Clem, he's happily mining on 3 bases. We have a 4th CC on the way as MaxPax is taking his own 4th. Typically, the Protoss should be up a base compared to the Terran, but we're neck and neck. Which is why Clem, he's getting further and further ahead here in the supplies. He's been preserving his army and also maintaining a solid economy. Catches some Zealots here towards the left. Catches a pylon on the right. MaxPax has to split up his army. And Clem isn't committing. I mean, he knows he got scattered. That's what's important. He knows he got scattered. He knows that MaxPax should be in position. He scans ahead of time. There is a Colossus. There is a shield battery and an overcharge. It is popped. It is going to be popped here for MaxPax. At the same time, you see the Marauders diving on top of the Colossi on the right-hand side. Widowmine's going to be going off. Zealot's going down. It looks like the Colossi are safe. Clem going for a jump into the main. MaxPax trying to keep up here, but only a single Phoenix. Yeah, the Vikings go ham. They take down the shield battery. They take down one of the Colossi. An expensive loss there for MaxPax, and another Colossus is going to be going down. We got one more. Just barely. Yeah, the Vikings, they land. They take down the Stalkers. At the same time, the drop in the main base was deflected. But Clem, he is gaining ground. Can he get one more Colossus? We shouldn't be able to. Shouldn't. As we drop towards the 4th, 6 workers go down. And even though Clem doesn't have enough to break MaxPax, he has killed 2 Colossi. It's more than worth it. The Widowmine shots. Oh my god. The Colossus is so very low. We're going for the dive. Prism arrives just in time to juggle. Oh, but the Prism does go down. Good target firing out of Clem. A mine shot's going to be going off. We have a minefield left behind. Behind this looks like a Zealot counterattack at the would-be planetary. We get a couple of SCVs, and this does draw back the army of Clem. MaxPax just trying to buy some breathing room here. Observer arrives, and yeah, we can shut down all of these Widow Mines. Much more efficient cleanup here from MaxPax. But Clem is not out of this yet. He wants that fourth. It is so vulnerable. No shield battery, no overcharge. The army is arriving. Mine shots go off on the Zealots. Big mine shots. You see the Stalkers trying to push in. Clem doesn't have enough here to break him. MaxPax is holding. He is holding on. Second Robo's on the way. Again, he just now got his fourth base up and running. He couldn't afford a second Robo. Oh, takes the mine shot to the face. But with that with that second Robo, we should be getting into Disruptor production. Disruptors should be on the horizon. We do need to diversify our splash damage. Meanwhile, Clem, now that he's on 4 bases, working towards a second starport, +1 ship weapons. I imagine Fusion Core on the horizon for Liberators. Ghost Academy well underway. Clem, his army is becoming that much more refined. MaxPax going for a Dark Shrine. As always, there's potential. Potential with DTs. It is going to be on the way. Likewise, there's always potential with Disruptors. You could be down 10, 20, 30 army supply, but one good Nova, one good Purification shot from those Disruptors, and MaxPax, he can tie things up or even take a lead, even kill his opponent. As MaxPax is going to be able to start to recover here. He's back up to 3 Colossi. Now he's working on Disruptors. The Zealot counterattack catching Clem off guard here. He's racing back. There we go. 3 SCVs go down. Clem, his worker count not as healthy as it once was. And after all the aggression has subsided, I mean, it's been a while here. Clem has had a really hard time asserting himself. MaxPax is stabilizing. MaxPax has stabilized and has maxed out. Here we go. The Zealot Rumbys are not going to be stopping. Drop gets caught. MaxPax is going to be able to shut it down. Again, the momentum that Clem had, not quite there anymore. Pushing on the left-hand side is spotted by the Observer. Nova's go off. Up. Good connections. We take down Marauders. We take down Ghosts as well. MaxPax, he has weathered the storm. And now he can finally get into his own game. Now, Clem is on the cusp of maxing out as well. Bearing in mind that Clem is incorporating Liberators. That will change the dynamic of these two armies. Liberation zones are kind of the next big step here for Clem. +2 ship weapons on the way as well to help support those libs. Clem did double expand, or he threw down 2 CCs, getting his 5th. Here we go, MaxPax collapsing on this army. Big EMP on the Archons. Nova's going to be going up. Split's looking good here. The Colossi go down to the Vikings. Oh, a rough fight there for MaxPax, losing almost every single Colossus. Big Zealot run by. We have Liberators back at home. And Clem, he is breaking this base on the right-hand side. The Nexus will fall. Nova's will be a little bit better this time. But at the same time, MaxPax is out of position. The base is going to be going down. Clem popping up here, taking down the full mineral line. And 10 workers go down, and so will the Nexus. Good kiting here out of Clem. MaxPax bleeding out a little bit too much. Nova goes off. It does not connect. That's going to be, what, 20 dead workers from MaxPax. In one swift move, his economy is in shambles. 22 dead workers as well as the base. And now we're diving on top of the Disruptors. Are exposed. No shot. One Disruptor goes down. The other barely escapes. Again, at the drop of a dime, things suddenly swing in favor of Clem. Both players were max, and then suddenly, Clem comes out with the split push. The Vikings killed every single Colossus. The Novas were lackluster. And the Disruptors overextend. No shot. Every single Disruptor goes down, and that's gonna be the entire Robo army gone. Reset for MaxPax. He's down to only gateway units, only zealots, only stalkers, a big overextension. And here come the liberators. Freedom has arrived. Liberation is here. And Clem, he's snowballing out of control. He shuts down at this fourth base. GG gets called, and Clem will take the series 2-0, taking down MaxPax. GG. And along the way, we lost his camera. We lost the cam, but GG, well played. And Clem will take it here. And MaxPax, he had his moments. Don't get me wrong. He had his moments in that game. We did have a bit of a back and forth there. MaxPax was recovering. He was recovering from the early game aggression, from the nonstop pushes of Clem. He had maxed out, but we did see a kind of a big moment when both armies clashed in the center of the map. Clem was able to pick MaxPax apart and also go for that drop towards the north. And with that, PSISTORM is in a really rough position here. They need to bring Clem down, and they had a lot of faith. They had a lot of faith in MaxPax, and I don't blame them. MaxPax is the best Protoss player in Europe, arguably in the world, but wasn't able to take a game off of Clem. And with that, PSISTORM, they're in a really rough position here. They need to send out another player, and they need to somehow bring Clem down. Now, they have Namshar, obviously. They have Namshar available. They may have other players as well. I'm not too sure who else is in the call or who else is on call. Players like Mindo VK, players like Epic. I'm not too sure if anyone has like a sniper build ready, but yeah, it is gonna be a tough call to make here. We may end up getting some insight as to what our lovely players will be saying, or what PSISTORM is going to be coming up with. We'll see if we do get a read on that. Meanwhile, Cure is awake. Cure has returned. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to get some food. If he went and got some food to eat. But Cure is here, and that doesn't bode well. That means that if Clem is taken out, Cure is ready to come in to clean house. Cure is at the ready here if need be. So yeah, that's a little bit brutal here. Team Liquid looking strong, looking powerful in their position. Now obviously Clem is going to be staying on. He's going to be staying on for as long as he can until he gets knocked down. But it's all on PSISTORM. The pressure is on. Cure lives. Catching up. We time travel though. It's fine. It's fine. MaxPax looking as fresh as ever. He did look quite fresh. He did. Looking suave, Bobby. Suave. But yeah, with that, again, the pressure is on PSISTORM here. It was going to be a difficult one for them regardless, just because they're relying so heavily on MaxPax. And with MaxPax not being able to take a game off of Clem, suddenly all their plans, all of their strategies is up in the air. And I want to believe in Namshar. We'll see. We shall see. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. The teams are still deliberating who to send out. And when we return, we'll have our answer for who it will be. See you soon. And we have returned here, and yes, we have our player of choice. We're going to be getting into our next game, into our next best of 2, and it is going to be Namshar. Namshar going to be coming in clutch here for himself, for his team, but he has a mountain to climb. But you know what? Have you seen his calves? Oh, he's ready to go, Papi. He's ready to climb that mountain, to climb that Clem. Vamonos, Papi. Namshar coming out as the final hope of PSISTORM Gaming. Can we do
PSISTORM
it?
Gaming versus Team Liquid. Game 3. Let's start the game.
Let's start the game. As Namshar has arrived here, we have a ZVT before us in a best of 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkione, we have our blue Zerga player representing Team PSISTORM. It is Namshar. And in the bottom left hand corner, we have the French Terran, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Ooh, Namshar going to be opening up with a 15-15. Interesting. Going to be 15 hatchery into an extractor trick into a 15 spawning pool. This is a very safe and very greedy way to play as well. I mean, I say greedy. A relatively very safe way to play. With this, we do have a faster spawning pool, a delayed gas geyser. We gain access to faster queens. And in a way, we want to be greedy because we want to drone up as much as we can. Just because we have delayed gases, we will most likely be skipping link speed and getting into roach play. That's typically kind of where this takes us. Again, with this, we're going to be having faster queens, and we can shut down any kind of early game Reaper aggression from our opponent. As Namshar is mixing it up. Again, this is an opener that has been rising in popularity a little bit. We've seen Wayne has been very fond of it. Shin has been very fond of it in this matchup specifically. As Overlord is being sent out, and the gas is now being taken for Namshar. And again, Namshar, he has been a really interesting player to follow, very quirky builds at times. When I remember, I do recall seeing some interesting all-ins as well, and I wonder if Namshar has something prepared for Clem, for the Terrans in general, whether it's Clem, whether it's Cure. What will he whip out? But now, queens are on the way. Again, no links. This is the purpose of the 15-15, is that you cut link production, you rely on your queens to defend, and you just drone. You drone up as much as you can. As links aren't really necessary here to defend, as long as your queens are in position. Oh, we lost the cam again. No. Clemch. We lost his cam. As Reaper dives into that mineral line, we do force out a gas geyser, but the drone is saved. And Namshar will hold. You know, we have one queen for each base. Meanwhile, we have our opener of choice from Clem. It is going to be a third CC before starport. Very economic from our Terran player, as that third CC is in production. So taking a much more macro-oriented kind of outlook here on this game. So there we go. We have replaced Clem with that still image. Well, as we do see, the drone going down. Oh, a bit of a misstep there from Namshar. And a nice start for Clem. Again, this early on, drone should not be falling. Oh, that is a second Rax, by the way. This is a 3cc 2-on-1. It's been a while. It has been a while. The Reaper comes back and he wants another drone. And he's going to get it. 2 workers go down. This is getting a bit out of hand here. These, 2 workers doesn't sound like a lot. But this early on, when we have, 25 to 30 workers, every drone does count. Meanwhile, this is what I was waiting for. So when we go for a 15-15, I mentioned, right, where that you typically skip link speed. You skip link speed and typically you go straight into roaches. But no, we're not going into roaches. Namshar is going for a fast lair. Very fast lair. Now, there's that roach warren on the way. Now, with this fast lair timing, we can, of course, rush into roach speed. We have an Evo chamber on the way. Okay, so we're not going for... We shouldn't really be going for something like Nidus play. As Hellions dive in, they get eyes on the roach warren, and they get into the mineral line. Drones are going down. This is a really good way to abuse the fact that there are no lings. There are no lings here for Namshar. Workers are going down. They're lining up. Oh, 5 workers go down so far. This is becoming a bit much. 6, 7 drones here. As finally we shut down this Hellion, but we get eyes on the lair. We have seen all. We know all. There's Roach Speed on the way. We could try to go Roaches alongside a Spire, but there we go. +1 carapace in production here for the Zerg player. But Clem, saw everything. He is fully aware of the commitment into Roaches. He's fully aware of the lair timing. And he was able to deal quite a lot of economic damage. Namshar has quite a bit of recovering to do. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to Namshar going for an all-in from here. I'm talking about like cutting workers at around 66, like 3 base saturation. You max out on Roach Ravager and you just send it. Unfortunately, Alcyone isn't the best map for all-ins just because of the ramp leading into the 3rd, the points of elevation. This can be a very well-fortified position. It can be really difficult to break. We've seen players struggle to break Protoss players time and time again with Roach timings, and we've seen something similar in this matchup as well. So we'll see if Namshar makes any more drones. That's what I'm curious about. Meanwhile, we have a double job coming in. Well, we can focus down the Queens. But so far, we do hold on. Good defense so far by Namshar. And he is droning. That is 7 more workers on the way. We are saturating our bases. Bailing Nest, 2nd Evo Chamber. It looks like Ling Bane Roach Ravager. It looks like after this +1 carapace, we should be working on +1 melee. But we'll see. We'll see if we commit to melee or range. As the double drop does dive into the main base, we're going straight for the Queen. Oh, Queen is barely up. Gonna go down. We chase down the Queen. We get 3 more drones. Good target firing there out of Clem. And there it is. Not range, melee. So we can see that it was Roach Ravager to begin with, and maybe hoping to force an overreaction. But as a follow-up, Namshar is getting his 4th and getting into Ling Bane aggression instead. Ling Bane as a composition. So Ling Bane, Ravager here from Namshar. As the Roaches should eventually be morphed into Ravagers just to support. Just to be more of a supportive unit. Meanwhile, the drop play continues. Clem has already achieved quite a lot with this, and he wants more. Does want more here, as we do have the double drop into that 3rd base. We're going for another Queen. Queen does go down. Clem gonna be forced back. Oh, gonna get another drone. 3 worker kills. 3 workers so far here in between the bases. Clem coming back in here from the left-hand side. Does get a couple of Roaches. Meanwhile, throughout all of this, as Clem has been harassing, he is just building up his tank count, working on 2-2. 4th CC is on the way. So far, Clem just building up, getting ready for an eventual push. I just realized we didn't have Link Speed. Link Speed is on the way as well. We're catching up. We're catching up with those upgrades, and here comes the push. This is what Clem has been building up towards. We're moving out with 3 tanks, a massive bio army. And can Namshar deal with this? I'm concerned. If we had Ravagers, then maybe, but yeah, we haven't morphed them in. The Ravagers are not ready for this. Roach is going to be pushing. Link Speed will finish up in time. We catch another Queen. Another Queen does fall. Oh, that's a lot of Marines here. Bailing Speed has finished up by collapsing on top of the Marines. Oh, big connections. Oh my god. Massive connections here on the Marines. And Namshar cleans this up. Clem, a big overextension there. The splits were not good enough from the Terran player, as he took some massive Baileys to the face. And suddenly, Namshar has momentum. Namshar, that was the fight that he was looking for. That was the fight that he was hoping for. I mean, I don't think he was expecting it, but a very strong fight, a very strong engage. With that, Clem has to back off. Namshar building himself up, getting a 4th. 2-2 is on the way. Hive Tech as well. Creep is spreading. We have an option. Either Namshar can push here and now to capitalize on Clem losing supply, or he can just try to get further ahead. And for the time being, Namshar is taking a defensive position, which is respectable. He's just double expanding, getting his goal base. Meanwhile, Clem going to be pushing on the left-hand side, trying to catch one of those queens. Does get a queen. Meanwhile, Namshar is pushing. He's committed. Doesn't quite get that base, though. There are tanks in position. Clem picking up a couple of Bailings. Good pickups here from the Terran. The Vipers are on the way. Clem is recovering at this point. Yeah, trading well against the Roaches. Better target firing here out of Clem. And he will collapse on this army as well. Namshar, again, he had momentum earlier, but Clem has since recovered. He's been able to max out, build up his army. He's on 4 bases, soon to be on 5. And here comes the second wave from Clem. Can Namshar have another miracle engage? He does to get on top of the tank. Tank goes down. Oh, Bailey's they crash into some of those marauders, though, as Clem takes a better fight. He's pushing on forward. And this time does pre-split his army. Vipers are still on the way. Good target firing. And Clem going to be focusing a little more here, but his army's bunched up. Ooh, hot pick up. Mine shot's going to be going if the Marines this time are saved. Clem will pull back. Will pull back in the end. Namshar still amassing his army. Remaxing is up to 92 workers. Oh my god. A very healthy worker count. As he's remaxing, I believe the Hive, yeah, of course, is done. 3-3 is on the way. Adrenal as well. Vipers are out. Namshar, he can keep up with this. Nice dodge on the mine, even forcing friendly fire. Up, up. Oh my god. Oh my god, the mine shot's even taking down some of the Metamax. Good drags here from Namshar. Does come across the tank. Oh, try to bait out those Widow Mines as well. Good retargeting out of Clem. Oh my god. The retargeting. These additional Widow Mines go off. We do need detection. No Overseer, not yet. Yeah, 3 Overseers on the way. More mine shots going to be going off. And Namshar does have to retreat. I mean, he's been holding his own. It's been really impressive. Namshar, he's holding his own here against Clem. He has a bank to work with as well. Hive Tech is wrapping up. We still need that detection, though. Oof. Oh god, the Widow Mines are resetting. Widow Mines do reset, but we're going to be able to clean them up. Do clean them up in the end. Bit of a better engage here. Ling Bane trying to go for a run by, but Namshar is racing back home. He has to take this seriously. Did bow down one of those libs. Viper has arrived. Oh, probes. Drone's going to be going down. Big mine shots here on the Bailings. Clem taking a better fight here. There's only a handful of Bailings left. That's a lot of Lings, though. A good target firing. The target firing out of Clem gets every single Bailing. Will eventually be cleaned up, though. There are just far too many Lings. Meanwhile, Liberators across the map getting even more drones. Getting out of hand. And you can see Namshar struggling to deal with this. A big part of this as well, the lack of anti-air. No Spire, no Hydroden. Just almost pure Ling Bane. Ling Bane Viper. And these libs, they have become an issue. They have become a problem. As Clem is reinforcing. Pushing in once again. And without anti-air, again, these Liberators, they're just buying so much time. And they're gaining so much value here. Yeah, we're relying on Biles. Liberators are going to be splitting up. We siege up on here on top of the Ravagers. Like main rolling in. Oh god, the Widowmines. Mine shot's going to be going off. It looks like there isn't quite enough bio on the ground here to break through. But overall, an efficient trade for the Terran. Yeah, parasitic bombs are thrown down. That's all we really can do. Good Biles. Biles clean up a lot of those libs. We barely do get on top of that gold. Again, a very scrappy fight here from Clem. Big part of it, he's just heavily reliant on these liberators. There we go. The Freedom has arrived. A massive Freedom Zone being set up here. Covering this entire area. They are bunched up, though. A couple of good Biles. Yeah, Biles, they will connect. They take down 2 of those libs. Power bombs as well. But Clem, he is maxed out. He's taking another base. He's taking his own gold. Clem has the better economy. And he's looking to snowball out of control. We're trying to engage here with Lingbane off of creep, but we run out of steam. We run out of larva, of momentum. GG gets called, and Clem will take game number 1. GG. GG, Clem will take it. But a shout out to Namshar. I mean, again, maybe, I don't know what it is, but again, Namshar, he's been around for a long time. He retired for a while. He's been taking a break. He's not as active as he once was. But for Namshar to take it to Clem like that, and to even have some really strong moments where he was actually ahead and leading in that game, I'm impressed. Well, I've been getting really impressed recently by Namshar and like these kind of standout performances, especially in WTL. It's good stuff. GG, well played. Didn't bring down Clem, but did again not look too bad at all. Didn't look too bad whatsoever in that game. In game 1. But with that, Clem does take the first game, and it's going to be on Namshar to fight back in game number 2. Going to be on Namshar to bring it all back here in his map of choice. I also just realized, I could be wrong. Maxed and XY were casting initially the show matches, which made sense because F91 and Xiaose were, playing. But XY and Maxed, they've been casting the entire night, right? Right? They've been here the entire time.
I mean, they have switched with Xiaose and F91 for a few.
Have they switched?
Okay, I think they did half and half, maybe.
Okay. They've been rotating back and forth, but yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised because I thought they were only going to do the show matches, but no, they're putting in the work. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Maxit and XY. Big shout out. Do love to see them. As we're getting ready for game number 2, and it is going to be on Equilibrium. So that is going to be our map of choice for Namshar. Let's go. Equilibrium is up next. And we're going to be loading on in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of our map. We have representing PSISTORM Gaming, Namshar. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid, Clem. And the question becomes, will we lose his cam again? Will the camera be knocked out as... Oh, hello, Namshar. We are going for another 15-15. It's going to be a 15 hatchery at the goal base into a 15 spawning pool. Very similar to what we saw in the previous game, but of course, with a twist, with the gold. Now, I'm a little bit concerned for Namshar. We saw how well Clem punished this in the TVP against MaxPax. MaxPax could not really get this base up and running, and I mean, by the time he did, it just wasn't worth it in the end. He has sustained so many losses. Clem did such a great job at punishing this gold. Can he do the same here against Namshar, or can Namshar get away with it? Can he get away with the gold? So we are going to be settling on in. His hatchery is on the way. We are going to be meandering over towards that gold base. as is being pointed out, no gases yet. And again, it's a 15-15, so delayed gases are very much so of the norm. May even just take the gas geyser at the goal base instead. But bearing in mind, winding it back to game 1, Clem killed 2 drones. He killed 2 workers with his Reaper, and that was with a standard setup. Oh boy, so I worry for how much damage this Reaper is going to get done in game number 2. SV Scout comes in, Clem gets eyes on the goal base. He's aware, he knows. And how does he respond? Ooh, as Namshar is rushing into a Roach Warren, this is what I was hoping for here. Again, if we're taking the goal base, usually it's for an all-in, and we're going for a Roach Rush. Now Clem has arrived with his Reaper. Gonna be chipping away at these drones. Ooh, gonna be denying mining at the gas geyser though. Pretty important. Again, we need that gas to actually produce those roaches. So Clem gonna be rotating around. Getting into that mineral line. Disrupting the mining. Oh, behind this economic opener, Clem is going 3cc. He's crazy. Okay, he's going to be going for a 3cc opener. Oh, does shut down one of those drones. Big pick off there from Clem. And now he's going in for the scout. He's going in for the scout into the main base. Hatchery has been spotted. And the Roach Warren is confirmed. Now, we aren't making that many roaches. I think we're making, like, what? 4 or 5 roaches are going to be waddling across the map. They're going to apply some pressure, don't get me wrong. But Clem is going to be getting ready for it. We got the roaches are moving out. Clem back at home, working on double cyclone production. Got a reactored factory. As a reminder, again, it was a 3rd CC before Starport, so a very economic follow-up. And yeah, these roaches are being completely shut down by the cyclones. Not even close here. The first roach goes down, and we can hunt down every other roach as well. Ooh, remember, because it's a 15-15, no link speed. No link speed, as link speed just now begins. And Namshar's in a world of hurt right now. He loses, what was that, 4 roaches? He is in a lot of trouble. Additional roaches are on the way. Overlord gets caught out. A handful of cyclones is all you need to really just wreak havoc here for the Zerg. Supply blocking Namshar. Additional roaches have arrived. But the cyclones do outrange them. They're just kiting the hell out of these roaches. Reinforcements, they do come in from the left-hand side, but we now have 4 cyclones. 4 cyclones have arrived. And these roaches just cannot touch them. Now, the Ravagers will help. They do have longer range. Behind this double E base, it's going to be a bio transition out of Clem. Is going to be Marines and Marauders. It is going to be on the way. Likewise, Clem still hasn't lost any cyclones. He's been very efficient with his army. Link speed has finished up, but I don't think we have many lings, and the mass cyclone, it's getting a bit out of hand. Remember, we are working towards a bio push behind this. These cyclones are just doing such a good job here, just trading. Keeping Namshar on the back foot. Rich speed on the way. And we can see Clem getting into the rest of his Raxes. His 3rd CC up and running. And it looks like Namshar is committed. He hasn't droned in quite some time. He's cutting workers at 48. Roaches, Ravagers, Lings are on the way. And Namshar's all in. He's completely all in at this point. And if Clem is too greedy, then Namshar, he could end it. He could end it all here and now. Here we go. Namshar going to be moving out. Likewise, Marines. Oh, they are amassing. 21 Marines in total. 6 Cyclones. And Namshar is completely all in at this point. The Marines are going to get caught out. Yeah, a good chunk of Marines are going to be going down. They come in from behind. They're going straight for the Cyclones. They do turn back around. The Marines, they do get surrounded. Already a good start here for Namshar. Shuts down the workers, or shuts down the Marines. The Biles! Oh, they also connect here with the SCVs. The tank has arrived. Clem going to be able to hold on to his natural, but he loses 12 workers. 12 SCVs did go down. Namshar is still committed, still not droning. Still just amassing nothing but Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers. And he is taking control of the third. But can he keep pushing the Biles? Biles grazing that orbital. Cyclone's trying to trade. And one more volley of the base is going to be burning down. Yeah, this CC, oof, massive volley there. So many workers fall. The tank is doing quite a lot in the back line. 6 SCVs go down. I can't believe the orbital's still alive. The orbital somehow survives. We sim on top of the Ravager army. Oh my god. Clem somehow cleans this up as well. Namshar losing every single Ravager. Oh my god, overextending. Likewise, I believe that he had enough. I believe he had enough to sustain himself, to deny the base, to pile down the orbital, but he was punished, and Clem cleans up the entire army. Now Namshar is droning, but now Clem can move out. Namshar is droning up as much as he can to recover from that all-in. Meanwhile, Clem pushing out across the map. 1-1 is done. Combat shield stim also complete. And do we have an answer for this? Do we have anything to deal with these Marines? We do have a couple of Lings. They're trickling in. They're trickling into the main base. We have some Ravagers as well. Thankfully, we have an army. 5 workers go down. The Queen as well. Clem being forced out of the main. Oh, it's God. Not like this. Here comes the main force. Again, the tank count was left untouched. That's what's terrifying here, is the tank count has been building up over the course of this entire game. Clem's still up in workers, up in economy. Moving out with a massive army. And he is just outscaling Namshar. Again, it was a failed all-in. And it's just so difficult to recover from that kind of position. Tank's going to be sieging. And we slowly pushing towards that goal base. I mean, it's almost mined out at this point, to be fair. Bailey's rolling in. Bailey's will crash into the tanks. A good pre-split here from Clem. A nice reaction there. We clean up the Ling Bane. We can keep pushing. Clem did lose a couple of tanks. Did happen. Down to only 2. But that may just be too much nonetheless. As we do stim on forward. Ling Bane is going to be shut down. You can see Clem just snowballing out of control when it comes to the army supply. I mean, this third base is fully saturated. Namshar trying to take his own 4th behind this. I mean, so far, good target firing here from these Ravagers. We're picking up some units here and there, wherever we can. We lost the camp. Not like this. We lost the camp up because Ling Bane's going to be rolling forward again. A good split there from Clem. Spreading out his Marines, avoiding those piles. Having his way with this army. Namshar trying desperately to hold on. But Clem is just rallying everything across the map. Yeah, there's nothing to hold him back, nothing to draw away his attention. The reinforcements, they have arrived, and this is just all we've been waiting for. Bailey's going to be rolling on in, but GG gets called. It's just become too much here. Clem, he will take the series at 2-0, taking down Namshar. GG. Double kill. Oh my god. I appreciate the build from Namshar going for the goal base, going for the roaches initially, but he was completely shut down by the cyclones. The follow-up all-in had potential, and we did deny the third. We were killing SCVs, but we couldn't touch the third. We couldn't touch the natural base. We couldn't break into the natural, and arguably arguably Namshar did overstay his welcome. He lost far too much when he was containing his opponent, and Clem, it's snowballed out of control, Poppy. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be setting up for a revive match. PSISTORM, they have lost to Gerald. They've lost to MaxPax. They have lost Namshar as well. Those are the three players that they fielded tonight. We have one revive remaining here for PSISTORM Gaming to fight back, to bring it all back here. And most likely the revive is going to be MaxPax. There's no question about it. There's no debate. There's no discussion. MaxPax is the only clear answer. And there's a lot of weight on his shoulders. MaxPax needs to win every game moving forward. One loss and MaxPax will be out. And PSISTORM will be out of the tournament. The pressure is on. But again, a big shout to Namshar. Again, I was very impressed in game one. Game one was very impressive to see Namshar take it to Clem, to be honest, and even be ahead in certain aspects. It was very impressive. Very impressive stuff in game one. Game number two was a little bit more cut and dry. It was a little bit more by the book. But overall, GG, well played. Namshar does bow out, and we're going to be going on a very short break here to confirm whether or not PSISTORM do revive MaxPax. See you soon. Take this moment, hydrate, search roaches, get some water, and we'll be back for our next round of games. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Shulkora, we have our player pick here. We have our revive. One revive is available, and MaxPax has been chosen to lead the charge.
PSISTORM Gaming versus Team Liquid. Game 4. Let's start the game.
Let's start the game as we're loading into potentially our final series here, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, representing PSISTORM Gaming. He needs your support. It is MaxPax. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Oh my god. Wait, what? Clem going for a CC? Wait. No, sorry. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was a CC. Okay, we're fine. Everything's normal. He's going for a Rax at the triangular third base. This is a way to hide your Rax. It's basically a fake proxy. Very similar to PvP, for example. If you're familiar with PvP, you would know that sometimes Protoss players throw down fake proxy pylons. Very similar kind of mindset here. Where the Rax is at the third, and with the Probe Scout, MaxPax is maybe thinking it's a real proxy and it is being sent across the map. So this is designed to force an overreaction from the Protoss player. Again, it's getting late. It's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. So, for a moment, I thought he was taking the unnatural natural as a CC with a CC first. That's where my brain went. I was like, what? But again, just a Rax on his side of the map. Meanwhile, to quickly reiterate, MaxPax has been revived. One more loss and he will be knocked out, and PSISTORM will be knocked out of the event itself. MaxPax needs to win every single game moving forward here to give PSISTORM a chance at redemption and a chance to make it further into this tournament. So MaxPax, he needs your support if you want more games. Needs your support. Meanwhile, yep, MaxPax did make a Zealot first. Basically, you would never make a Zealot unless you believed, of course, that you were being proxied. So a very safe opener here from MaxPax. Zealot is moving out across the map just to make use of it, just to gain some kind of value because it was forced out. So far, a good start for Clem. Did force resources to be wasted. You can see the Zealot going towards the natural. Clem going for the CC on the high ground, so when the Zealot arrives, there's nothing for it to do. There's nothing for it to kill. Gonna have to swipe away here at the wall. And does get eyes on the building CC. So at least MaxPax does scout. At least he's aware. At least. You know, I see Iron Ring in the chat. You know, I was a little bit on the fence about the nails. I was on the fence about it, but I like it. It's growing on me. It's a good look. It's a good look. As we do have Cyclones on the way, Medevac as well for a Cyclone drop. So Clem is soon to be the aggressor behind this. Reaper chasing down this Zealot, looking for the kill. Adepts have arrived though, and yeah, the Reaper is going to be hunted down. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice. So just to quickly reiterate, MaxPax did go for a Twilight Council opener. He's going to be going for Blink Stalkers. We have a Committed Gateway Explosion. We have one Gateway and a second and third Gateway on the way. So 3-gate Blink from MaxPax. It is just a way to gain map control. We should be expanding behind this. We can either go for an expansion or for a Robotics Bay, depending on how economic MaxPax wants to be. As the Marines have arrived, we're diving on top of these adepts already. The Cyclone does make it as well. Do we have a shield battery? Uh-oh. No shield battery. Stalker is going to be coming in. How good is the Mind Shot going to be? We take down the adept. The adept does fall. We're pushing on forward into the natural base. Clem looking to snowball out of control. The Stalkers, they will survive. Boys may have to be pulled. We get another warp in. And with the surround, MaxPax should clean this up, but he will lose another Stalker in the process. 2 Stalkers go down. The juggling here from Clem. Oh my god. Avoiding the shots. He gets a 3rd Stalker. That should not have happened. Finally, the Cyclone goes down, but the juggling was crazy. Oh my god. That one Cyclone killed 3 Stalkers on its own. It was wild. Clem gets cleaned up. MaxPax is going to be pushing, going for a big counterattack. Remember, it was 3-gate blink. That was the opener, which means we have map control. We can counterattack. And now it's going to be Clem on the defensive. That was still wild, though. The juggling was insane. Okay, the Prism has arrived, going for a big warping across the map. Going to be committing to a push. The Stalkers towards the natural, drop into the main. Tank is in position. Bunker still not quite done. Oh, but the main base is looking exposed. And MaxPax is not going to take this lying down. He is here to deal some counter damage. We do have that. We do have the auto turret across the map, though. We do get 3 probe kills. Oh, meanwhile, 6 SCVs go down. Very nice damage here as the Raven is left idle. Raven left idle for a moment. Prism going to be coming in. Marines are in position. Chaos ensuing here as we throw down another auto turret. Meanwhile, MaxPax has vision of the main base. Is going for the dive. Going for Stim. Yeah, the tank is out of range. Stim, it's going to be cancelled. A big pick off there from MaxPax. Likewise, the Prism has returned. It does survive as well. The Stalkers are going to be going down, and we do recall the War Prism. But overall, not a bad trade here from MaxPax. He did lose a lot of Stalkers, but he denied Stim. With that, he delays the push. Push has been delayed. We have Charge on the way. Third base up and running for MaxPax. He does have a worker lead. Mules will be making up for that, but again, MaxPax not in the worst position. Really, the biggest thing that's hurting him is his lack of army, is his dead Stalkers. As it does take quite some time to rebuild and reinforce. A couple of Stalkers going to be moving out. Again, just going to be threatening any kind of move out from Clem. Scan into the natural does reveal, I believe the Robo was in the natural base. Doesn't see much else. We can see that we have not thrown down a Bay yet. It is not going to be Colossus production. We have Charge and Immortals instead. Speaking of, MaxPax getting ready for a Zealot run by. Zealot drop into the natural. We are preparing. Likewise, Clem, he wants to push. Does want to move out. I'm sure he's aware that the Prism is still active, is still out there. Fanning out his Marines. Trying to get a read on it. And there we go. As the army moves out, Zealots are moving in. Prism towards that natural. Is spotted by Clem. As Clem is distracted by the War Prism, going for some Raven harass. Yeah, Shield Battery is going to be targeted down. Good pick up. Oh, never mind. Shield Battery survives. Third base is being taken. Viking on the hunt for that War Prism. Oh, do we come across it? Oh. So we barely don't. MaxPax taking a 4th base. Now working on his splash damage. Bay is done. Colossus production well underway. Now, Colossi have been delayed because of the build and the tech of choice from MaxPax. I believe he's going to have his 2nd Colossus by the time the fight happens. Or at least 1, which is not a lot. And MaxPax is pushing, he's committed. The Raven taking a lot of hits. Oh, does survive. Zealot runs into the bunker. Jump into the natural. The first Colossus is in position. Shield Battery not quite done, and we may just have too much, by the way. Big anti-armor missile as well on the Colossus, on the entire army. The Zealots are getting across the map, but we have reinforcements back at home. Yeah, the Vikings going to be coming in, and the Prism is going to go down. And that means that Clem can focus on his push. Yeah, boys are being pulled across the map. A lot of SCVs are falling. But Clem, he doesn't care about his workers because he's going for the kill. The Prism is hunted down. Zealots coming in from behind. Only 1 tank left. Clem running out of steam a little bit. He lost 22 SCVs. He's all in. He's all in at this point. He has to commit. He has to send it. But he's pushing into 2 Colossi. Tank is sieging. Zealots are going to be coming in from behind. And can we collapse on top of the Colossus? Looks like we can. Yeah, there's just not enough here. The first Colossus does fall. Tank shot's going to be going off. Zealots are coming from behind. Ooh, Widow Mines, they take down the Zealots. They force a bit of friendly fire, and MaxPax is holding. He does hold, he does survive. He lost a base and a Colossus in the process. He's going to be able to hold on. Behind this, Clem, he's got 1-1, only a single eBay. He did lose a lot of workers back at home during that attack. And speaking of, MaxPax going for another counterattack, catching some of these medevacs. Gets one. Good movement out of Clem. This is one of those medevacs. Dark Shrine is on the way, and the game is going to be settling from here. Things got very chaotic, very intense, very chaotic for a while there. MaxPax barely held, and Clem respects that position, does retreat. So Clem is working on a 4th. Meanwhile, so is MaxPax, which means I have to give the edge here to Clem. He has a better economy. He has mules. MaxPax working on a Dark Shrine for potential DT harass. Dark Templar, they can do quite a lot here. They can pull Clem apart. As we sim on forward, we shut down some of these Stalkers. Big pickoffs. And Stalkers are quite expensive. Dark Shrine gets scattered as well. Immediately we have turrets on the way. Immediately turrets. Sack defense. I'm sure we're going to be holding onto some energy for scans as well. So a really big moment. It does sound like potentially even a prism just went down. Towards that main. And Clem, he's on the brink of maxing out. And he's getting a 4th, going to be maintaining his economic lead. We are moving out. A couple of DTs are sprinkled around the map. We are moving forward. Clem should be ready for them back at home, but there's no turret here at the 4th. Never go up the Nova. Does go off. Doesn't quite connect. Meanwhile, SCVs are going down. Reinforcements coming. We do have an EMP. Good connection. Decent counterattack out of MaxPax, but Clem is maxed out. He's at 200 supply. He's ready to end it. Ready to just collapse here on the 5th, on the 4th as well. We need some miracle novas. These disruptors, they can keep MaxPax in this. We do need some miracle connections. There it goes off. Oh, decent connection. Does graze the army. Colossi being forced back. Mine shot's going to be going off. Clem will respect this position. Will retreat for now. Waiting for the overcharge. Overcharge is going to be running out. Never goes off. Oh, good splits. Oh my god. The splits here from Clem. Does avoid the Novas. Reinforcements are on the way. We're getting on top of these Stalkers. Getting on top of the army. Zealots are coming in. Decent Novas here towards the end, but we have taken down every single Colossus. The Vikings, they can land. And we're running out of Novas. Oh, big connection. Big connection towards the end here. The Novas, there's just always one available until now. As it looks like Clem has broken through the back line here. He's broken the backbone of MaxPax's army. And the disruptors, they're resetting. Decent connections, but the base is going to be going down. Boys are being pulled. There are 2 disruptors left. 1 disruptor remaining. We do have a Dark Templar. You have DTs mixed in. EMP does connect though. And it looks like MaxPax is going to be able to barely hold on. Does force back Clem for a moment until the reinforcements arrive. Clem is just rallying everything across the map. And it is becoming too much here. Clem does barely hold on to his base, but he lost his 5th in the process, if you recall. Did lose his 5th base. His Colossus count was reset. We have 2 Colossi on the way. But Clem, he does have a massive supply lead. Decent connection here, but we need more than just a decent connection. And again, we were hoping for more of a back and forth, hoping for a longer series. The base does go down. MaxPax knocked down to 3 Nexi. But Clem, very much so in form nowadays. He isn't the ESL Masters Winter Champion for no reason. As Dark Templar are going to be waddling on in. There are DTs all over the place, actually. Can we buy time? The Dark Templar does go down. Pushing towards the 3rd base. Colossi have arrived. Good swipes here on the army. MaxPax can try to take a fight here. A 3rd Colossus is on the way. And once again, Clem is going to be forced back. He does have Liberators. Liberation! They're coming out! Dark Templar, they do hit the 3rd. They do hit the natural. 6 SCVs. But now we are committing to Sky Terran. Liberators, Vikings, plus 2 ship weapons. All is necessary as we catch the Dark Templar. Now MaxPax, I was going to say he needs time to recover, but he won't be getting that time as MaxPax does tap out, recognizing how far behind he is and how little he has left. GG, well played. Clem will take down MaxPax 1-0. And again, because it was a revived player, that's all Clem did need. GG, well played. Clem, Team Liquid, Elazer, Cure, Mana, all together, they will be taking this series and they will advance on into tomorrow's day of playoffs. GG. GG, well played. My condolences to PSISTORM Gaming. They put up a good fight. Again, I was very impressed with how Namshar was able to perform. A big shout to Gerald. Remember, Gerald, he took down Elazer. That was a big win for him as well. Elazer is the best Zerg player in Poland. And Gerald was able to tie up his series 1-1 as well. So really impressive showing there by Gerald. I was impressed by Namshar as well. MaxPax, there was a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and again, he was able to have some good performances against Clem, but just wasn't able to take a game here. Again, Clem is on fire recently. He has recently won his first Premier event. He's in form and arguably the best Terran player in the foreign scene or even the world, possibly. Like he's been on point, been on fire. GG, well played. And yeah, Team Liquid there, they have a pretty deep run ahead of them. Like with players like Clem and Cure on their team, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for how deep they can go in WTL. And their next series is going to be tomorrow. In 17 hours time, it's going to be Team Liquid versus Shopify Rebellion on this channel. So players like Elazer, Clem, Skillis, Cure, Mana, they're going to be going up against Bjorn, Lambo, Harstem, and Scarlet. Shopify versus Team Liquid, going to be an amazing series. Oh boy. And again, that is going to be tomorrow in 17 hours. Meanwhile, I believe we are getting ready for a winner's interview. I believe a winner's interview is going to be held. I believe we may be having an interview with Clem. Uncertain. We'll see if we do kind of come together here. Again, it is very late. It is 4:30 in the morning. It is 4:30 in the morning here. It is quite late, and yeah, that's well, we should still have the winners interview though. We still get this underway. All the way, Papi, all the way. Meanwhile, this event did run a little bit late. How many hours have we been live? 7 hours. Jesus, 7-hour cast here. I was not expecting it to go this long. It's gonna be a long weekend, Papi, a long weekend. But it was a 7-hour cast, and essentially I was expecting this to go on a little bit shorter, and I was gonna cast the New Year Cup. There was a New Year Cup that started like 3 hours ago. And they're in the finals. They're just now starting the finals. And unfortunately, we will not be a part of that. I could maybe do a replay cast at a later date. Potentially, otherwise, that was something we were going to be casting. We just didn't expect WTL to go on so long. Very long event. Very long. Very long. But it was amazing. It was a lot of good fun. And again, we will be continuing this tomorrow. We'll continue with WTL tomorrow as well. Meanwhile, if you're interested in our next broadcast, I'm going to be going to bed, and in 9 hours time, so I'm going to try and sleep. I'll try to sleep 8 hours. I'll do my best. But in 9 hours time, we're going to be live here with the KSL. The Korean StarCraft League is going to be live here on the CranKy Ducklings, and we will be covering KSL week number 41. Week number 41 in 9 hours time. So if you want some Korean StarCraft League action, we got you covered on the CranKy Ducklings. It's after KSL where we have WTL. I may have a nap in between KSL and WTL. I will see. We'll see what happens. Bob. Oh boy. But otherwise, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I hope everyone did enjoy themselves. Not as late as yesterday. Yeah. Not as late. Thankfully. But yeah, looks like we do have our interview.
好的，非常感谢我们2位解说的专业讲解。那接下来的话就要采访到 Clem 选手，让我们赶紧来连线一下他吧。
Okay, now let's make a quick interview with Clem.
Hello Clem， 非常恭喜你赢得了今天比赛的胜利啊！那么也是带领队伍又进入了下一轮。那么第一个想问你的问题，其实是今天在打Namshar的第2把的时候，中间你的有一度机枪兵没有带运输机出去，当时是被包了，一度有一些陷入劣势，但是还是很快的重新的去部署，把自己的一个劣势给扳了回来，最后赢得了胜利。想问一下，当时自己是怎么把这段劣势期给过渡过去的？
Okay, first, félicitations on your victory today. And we have a small question because when you're facing Namshar on Equilibrium, there was one fight that you let your Marines go without medivacs and lost some of your units. How did that happen? And how did you pull out and, turn out reverse the situation?
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting his push to come so quick, and I just wanted to move out with my Marines, and then just rally the medivacs and boost the medivacs across. But he kind of caught me off guard because my medivacs weren't there, and then I lost all of my Marines. And from that point, it got pretty scary because I wasn't sure exactly what his drone count was, so I didn't really want to give up my third base fully. In case he wasn't like 60 drones or something, but yeah, then the base almost died, so that was a bit scary. But he wasn't on a very low drone count, and when I cleaned up his army, then I knew he was probably fine.
是这样子，一开始我确实也是没有想到啊，这个来的会这么快。我本来只是想先让我的枪兵落一下位，但我当时的这个医疗机还没有到啊。又就在这个档口被抓了一下，抓的时候我也确实吓了一跳，而且陷入了比较被动的局面，但我还是不想放弃我的3基地，可以说我确实是大意了，但是我最后还是守下来了啊，就硬打把这个局面扳回来了。
确实，整体其实 Clem 选手的整体的运营还有基本功各方面确实是更为出色，哪怕当时有一小度陷入劣势，但是也是很快的凭借自己非常扎实的基本功打了回来。那其实最近有很多观众都觉得你近1年的一个 TVP 突飞猛进，是什么原因让你在这1年里面的进步如此明显呢？尤其是在 TVP 方面。
In the past year, we have all witnessed your great improvement in TVP. So, what's your secret for such a progress?
I think the the secret is playing against MaxPax every Monday and every day on the ladder. Yeah, I think playing so much. I was actually talking about it with Man earlier, and he was saying that he thinks that like, me and MaxPax playing so much against each other benefited really like both of us. And he got a lot better in PvT, and I got a lot better in TvP. Even on the EU ladder in general, the practice is mostly TvP. So I just play a lot more TvP than anything else. So that's probably why.
就是我确实是做了很多的专门的练习啊，总体来讲就是也是确实是强化了 TVP 的这个对局，所以就得到了现在的结果。
确实在背后也是付出了很多的努力，天道酬勤。那其实今天整个队伍的发挥都非常的不错，评价一下你今天对我们的表现吧，尤其是第一把都不用你出马就直接拿下了比赛，是不是从未有过如此美妙的开局
？So your team also did very well today, especially when Cure just took the first game, alone. How do you see your teammates' performance today? And do you think it's the most wonderful beginning that you've been missing for a long time?
Yeah, I think those were wins we needed, and I was very glad to see that Cure was taking out Bunny and winning the TVTs, because I wasn't feeling super good if I had to play against Bunny and play some TVTs. So I was very happy he could beat him, and yeah, I was very proud today. We did really good, and yeah, hopefully we can win tomorrow as well. But I think we have a really good shot, and we have some momentum going for us now as well.
我要说的是，其实还是很开心的，就是Cure 拿下了Bunny，因为我觉得如果是我打Bunny的话，可能会比较吃力的。我对我的队友感觉到非常的骄傲，我们现在也是气氛非常的好，希望明天能够打出更好的成绩。
也是要聊到明天的对决。明天其实你们要面对到的是 SR， 有信心吗？有没有机会看你们一路连胜杀到总决赛
？So are you guys confident to in tomorrow's game versus SR?
I think we're feeling pretty confident. At least I'm feeling pretty confident. I think it's gonna be a close match because I think all of the matchups are pretty close, and I think anyone can beat anyone as well, especially in best of twos. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun, and I'm looking forward to playing my matches. And yeah, I hope I can do well for my team, because it's always a bit more stressful when you play for a team, because you know that the team is cheering for you, and you gotta win for them. So I will definitely do my best in that match, and I think we're feeling pretty good overall.
Yeah. One more question. Do you guys have any plan on winning streak winning streak straight to the final fight versus OG?
Well, can you repeat the question?
Do you guys have any plan on keep winning straight to the final fight versus OG?
Oh yeah, well, of course we're gonna do our best, and I mean we're all feeling pretty good. I think all of us are playing pretty well right now, I think, and we can definitely do really good if we keep playing the way we did today.
Okay. 我们是首先关于第一个问题，就是作为明天的比赛来讲，我们肯定是非常有信心的。但是我要说的也是，其实我们每个选手的对阵都比较接近的，任何的事情其实都有可能发生，尤其是在这个BO2的这种情况下呢，其实胜负还真不是说的特别的死，而且我也有一定的压力。你知道，在这种比赛当中，其实会有。只要你去打比赛，就会有来自这个队伍啊，或者是来自对局的压力。那么第二个问题，关于这个一路连胜到 OG 呢，我们肯定会努力的，因为我相信我们队伍都很强，也会尽我们最大努力去做到这一点。
好的，非常感谢 Clem 选手接受到我们的采访，也希望你们能保持住今天队伍的状态，在未来的比赛里面一切顺利。希望明天比赛一切顺利，祝你好运。感谢接受采访，拜拜。
Thank you. That's all for our
Thank
interview.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
好的，那么也是再次恭喜 Team Liquid 成功晋级。那我们今天的所有比赛到这里就告一段落了，让我们来回顾一下今天比赛的赛况吧。好的，这是我们今天季后赛第一天冒泡赛的一个晋级图情况。那明天我们也是会看到 SR 要面对到 Team Liquid， 然后他们的胜者会对阵到 PKZ 战队。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. And with that, we have wrapped up day number 1 here of WTL, and we have tomorrow still ahead of us. We have Shopify Rebellion up against Team Liquid, and the winner up against CranKy Gaming soon thereafter. We were just able to hear some words from Clem, hearing about, some of his matches that were ongoing, some of those matches, as well as his performances, Cure leading up to it as well. Really cool to hear some insight from Clem. Really cool to see. But with that, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. We have wrapped up a full 7-hour cast here of WTL, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow. As a reminder, tomorrow isn't just those matches, it is also some show matches as well. Before Team Liquid versus Shopify, we will have a show match between, I think there's Crank, F91, Chauset, and Rotterdam. They're all going to be show matching, and there's going to be some best of ones, there's going to be some 2v2s, some 1v1s as well. So be sure to tune in if you are interested. Be sure to tune in to that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate the support. We're going to be live again in 9 hours' time. In 9 hours' time, we're going to be live with the Korean StarCraft League. We will be back. And, look forward to it. It's time for bed. It's time to get some rest. Big shout out to Kuro. Kuro has been handling the production. So thank you so much. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some KSL and for some WTL action. See you then.